Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jarrett Goes to the Movies, a weekly podcast where Jarrett Reddick and friends get together and talk about a movie that they watched that week. Plus, whatever the hell else is on their minds. Get ready for the best hour and a half you'll have in the next hour and a half. Here they are, Eric, Casey, Sean, Amy, and because he's famous, his name's on the show, Jarrett. Welcome to Jarrett Goes to the Movies.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Big day today, guys. A big day is what's happening today. And here's the thing. This is a special episode for so many reasons. First of all, though, I got to go with the important thing. My name's Jarrett. This is Jarrett Goes to the Movies. We're happy you're here. I am getting a colonoscopy tomorrow, which means today I am prepping for that, which means I have had nothing but liquid foods today. Actually, all I've had is 2 things of Jell-O and a bunch of water.
Jell-O shots?
What flavor?
Vodka.
Red, because I usually can't eat the red, but it's purple they want me to stay away from this time. So,
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
I don't know.
It'll turn your poop green.
Well, there's not going to be
supposed to have any poop
there's not
in
going to be any poop left. And so here's the thing on this episode. What I'd like to do is, when I need to go, I'm just going to go and y'all keep the show going. And you're okay to talk. It's okay to talk about like what you think is going on with me at the time.
Okay.
Including sound effects.
Yeah, you can do a sound effects if you'd like. I mean, honestly,
Why
it just
don't you
sounds
just
like
bring your phone with you and then tune in, like stream from it.
it honestly just sounds like a girl peeing is what it sounds like when I poop right now. But yes, I do have a colonoscopy. By the way, everything's fine. I have ulcerative colitis. I've had it since I was 20. I'm actually in remission, so all of this is just preventative. And hopefully I get what is called the golden ticket again, which means I don't have to go back for 3 years.
And some good pictures for our Christmas card this year.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, a couple of announcements before we really get into the thick of this thing. And like I said, it's a big night. Not only am I doing prep for my colonoscopy and honestly could be the first person to poop my pants during a live broadcast. Right. Well, sure, that I know of, right? On October 25th, 2015, 6 years ago today, Jarrett Goes to the Movies premiered with our first episode, Back to the Future.
Wow.
6 years ago.
Dang.
6 years.
Dang.
Crazy. We're almost to 300 episodes. So shout out to you guys for being here every week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, depending on how the schedule has gone.
Sometimes you plan for 2 times a week, and it's just 1 time a week.
Just a lot of things happen. You know, we were all living life, man. We're all living life. But I do want to give a shout out to Rich, who absolutely, I would never have started this had he not pressured me into it. Of course, Kitty Corner Will, Tim Toole, Sweet Cheeks. Austin. Is that his name? Austin. Yes. I just call him Sweet Cheeks. Anyway, Austin, Sweet Cheeks. Everybody who's all of our guests, everybody, that's all the old cast members, right? That's it. Yeah.
There's Temporary John.
Temporary John.
Bass player John.
Bass player John. Jeff Goldblum.
Intern Sarah or whatever her name was.
No, never mind.
Intern
They
Sarah.
weren't like cast members.
Didn't they have an
Ryan.
intern?
Oh, Ryan the intern.
Ryan the intern.
Ryan the intern.
All right. Well, anyway, everybody, and then all of the guests that have been in studio, all of our Patreon supporters who, we've managed to grow the show so much just in the last few years because of your support. So thank you, everybody. 6 years. I honestly, that's crazy to me. So yes, another announcement 2 days ago was October the 23rd.
That is all.
October.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Another. Dang.
So COVID was a crazy time. Eric was forced to stay home and do the show, and Sean as well. And during that time, Eric, we decided, man, we really need to, I just need somebody else to talk to because Casey is kind of always doing something else. And so I just needed somebody to like look at and talk to. And Amy stepped in and came here every single week. And officially, 2 days ago, October 23rd, Amy has been here 1 year.
Holy crap! That's cool.
Official member of the podcast team. She got her own caricature and everything. And Amy, so with this being your 1 year anniversary, here is your 1 year present.
Oh my goodness!
And let's see.
Oh Jesus!
Let's see if you can pick out the theme.
Okay.
As we go. So I'll do commentary.
Okay, the theme.
As you go. Yeah.
I see a roll of gift wrap. It says, "A pow." Kapow!
Got to roll a
Happy
kapow.
The theme is
paper.
presents.
I have a roll of Reynolds Kitchen parchment paper.
Parchment paper. Yeah.
Parchment
paper. That's right.
I have 4 rolls of Scott 1,000 sheet per roll toilet paper.
Now that's good stuff. That is really
Toilet
good
paper
stuff.
That's
Not
very, very priceless.
yeah.
Oh,
that's-
okay. Now I have 2 rolls of Sparkle paper towels.
Okay, it's not Bounty, but there's a ferry.
That's fine.
So that'll
You
be
can't
fine.
be picky.
That's right.
Sir, we don't say that anymore.
Oh, sorry.
Now we have 100 sheets of bright paper. Bright paper. We've got green, yellow, red, blue, and purple.
Yep. That's
Okay.
so just some nice colored
I
paper.
don't have any
there.
guesses on this.
Sir.
You
so
don't?
far.
Okay, keep
I
going.
mean, these are paper products.
Yeah.
All paper.
And then just a whole
A lot of copy paper.
yeah.
500
What do they
sheets.
call that?
So now we are up to 600 sheets.
A neat,
1,000 sheets.
ream of paper.
Oh, a ream. Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's
paper. Tissue paper.
There's tissue paper in there. The bag is also made out of paper.
It's a red bag.
Yeah. And let's see, what's that?
No regrets. A no regrets tattoo with an A.
Oh, neat. That's going to be good.
Okay.
Yep. I love that you just instantly put it on your chest.
Yeah, that's where it goes.
That's where it goes.
Paper plates.
Paper plates.
48 count.
Okay.
Post-its.
Post-its. We invented
Post-its.
those.
More post-its. Bigger post-its. And notebook paper.
Notebook paper.
I know what the theme is.
Okay, let's go.
I mean, everything's paper.
Yeah.
It's your paper anniversary.
It's the traditional 1 year.
Traditionally,
It's 1 year is paper.
it's your paper anniversary.
That's
Paper
adorable.
anniversary. Yep.
Oh my goodness. This is the best. Thanks, guys.
Well, we are happy you're
I had
here.
no idea.
I really believe that we all would agree
so
that you completed the circle for the show, and it has never been better. I think it gets better every week, actually, and I know that we all agree on that.
You guys are amazing. Well, thank you for having me. You
thank
make me
you.
feel special.
Well, you are indeed, and we would not.
Load all this stuff back in the car. Just give me a minute. If I pull something.
Did you drive the
Don't
golf cart?
worry. I did bring the golf cart. I'm just going to have paper flying off the golf cart on the way home.
Guys, last week I gave you guys some news about our podcast and our rating. And last week, you guys remember, this is a big thing. I mean, last week we were number 106, and we went up 82 spots from the previous week on Apple Podcast United States of America Film Reviews. Guys, this week we were number 66. We went up another 40 spots.
Damn, what is
And we are quickly making ourselves to the top 50.
Watch out, Dishwalla.
Yeah, that's so what I'm
Movie reviews.
I'm
Is
telling
Sean
you.
just telling us because he knows we'll never check ourselves.
All I gotta say
that's
is this is all on you listeners. The only way that that those numbers go up is that you're leaving a review, that you're listening, that you're spreading the word, that you're sharing our posts, that all of that, any and all of that is so important. Even if you're not a Patreon supporter because it's a financial thing or whatever, you're just not into it. Just
crazy.
leaving a review, sharing it, just rating the podcast. So important. So thank you guys for that. It's crazy to be number 66 in all of America. Speaking of Patreon, this show is 100% driven by our Patreon supporters financially. All of the perks and everything, as well as, being able to pass some money, to the dudes who do all of the hard work. Sean, at least.
Like, what?
Yeah, you're like, I don't fucking do. But really, this show, 100%, all of the money goes back into the show. So if you are feeling randy, go to patreon.com/JarrettGoesToTheMovies and become a supporter of the winning team. Anybody, even if you've downgraded your pledge since April when I promised the awesome perk, and you can still get in on it. And that order will be placed on the 1st of November. So if you want to get in on the really awesome perk, get it in the $20 level or the $10 level. You still get something, but it's not quite as awesome. And then we're gonna try to get 3 more perks in, if possible, by the end of January, because I do have some catching up to do. So, with that said, Brian Murray is a new supporter at the $5 level.
Brian, the original Murray.
Hey, this is a fun one. We all know Angie Thorin. She's been a supporter for so very long, and just absolutely is super cool. Always in the chat when she can be and all that. Angie went from $5. She is now a producer, guys. Woo! $20 level. So you'll be hearing her name each and every week when I'm introducing you to our producers, but our executive producers, I should say, David Dooley and Woody Chambers have been around for a very long time. We miss you, Woody. Hope you get your internet sorted out at some point, because it's just not the same since you went away. David Dooley, Woody Chambers, thank you very much. Our producers are all at the $20 and up level, and they are Ad Craner, Alma Dickface,
That is not what that says.
Alma Dickfits. Alma Dickfits. Oh, okay, I got it. Alma Dickfits. What did I say? Alma Dickface.
The first one was funny too.
Alma Dickface. I thought it was Alma Dickfits. Amy Strongbottom Pitsinger, Andy Smith, Angie Thorin, Brian Mason, Brian Sullivan, Brian Dunning, Shell Ordway, Chris, the $12 Million Man Cranfill, Chris Jacobs, Corey Reed, Daniel Cotton, David Dooley, David Kendrick, David, the original Murray, Dennis Hopp, Denny Chambers, Diana Wheeler, Diane freaking Small, Dom Surfing Barrett Petretta, Ernie Soulman McCracken, God damn it, Gage Strickland, Gregory Cordone, Greg Lee, Greg the Hammer Stevens, A Hangover You Don't Deserve podcast, Jared Spear, Dr. Jason Aylesworth with special guest Kidney Pete, Jay Palladino, Jeff Murray, Jeff Yeager, fucking Joe Barlow, Rat Pack Joey Bishop, John Gickler, Joseph Richards, Josh Hanlon, Josh Millman, MVP Kate Etro, Katie Gardner, Kim Frosting on the Beater Murphy, Kirsty Fisher, and Les Zaldor Zalewski, Lily Holohan, Lisa Sponsor, Lisa Wenzel, Lucy Murray, Mandy Birch, Mandy Pretty, Melody Ortloff, who you guys will meet for the first time on 5 questions here in just a little while, Michael McClary, Michael Price, Mike Breton, Mike Leblanovitz, Nick Brignoni, Rodon James, Ray Elliott, Rich Osborne, Robert Dirty Muffins O'Doyen, Ryan Clydesdale, Sarah, The Undertaker DeAngelis, Sarah, the Undertaker DeAngelis. She watches like every week too, and I just butchered the shit out of her name.
You know her already? Anyway?
They're going to come visit actually soon, but we're not doing a podcast because Amy and Casey are going to be out of town.
What are y'all doing?
Woo!
They're going
Girls trip.
Yeah, girl trip. Like
Go where?
Just a bunch of male strippers and shit.
Fredericksburg.
Boring.
Sean Blackstone, Sean Barger, Steve May, Steve Rhodes, Tom, Cruising the UK, Murray, Trey Wren, Vinny, No Fucking Clue Cataldo, Wendy Matta, Woody Chambers, and Svi Hurst, everybody. Son of a bitch. I couldn't get it to work. The Wolf of Wall Street, rated R.
You think?
Yeah, it is.
Comedy drama. This one probably had to do an edit to get to even R
I
status.
don't even.
They had to cut out quite a bit, actually.
As I look back on it, I can't believe that even what we saw is a rated R movie.
Same.
Like, this is craziness.
Yeah, there's like 3 like full frontal crazy.
The amount of, and we'll get into it, I'm sure,
Yeah,
but the
sure.
amount of cussing, y'all say cussing or cursing in that context?
I say cussing.
I used to say cussing. I say cursing now.
Same. I used to say cussing and now I say cursing.
Yeah.
Well, whichever you call it is
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. There's a bunch, plus all the drugs, plus all the nudity.
Yeah.
Swearing?
This movie is banned in
Swearing.
5 countries.
Is it really?
It is.
I believe that. I do. I believe it. 2013, guys. Big year.
And that comes up, and I go, almost 10 years ago this movie came out?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about it like that.
It seems like this came out. If you would have asked me, hey, when did Wolf of Wall Street come out?
2017.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think the rating would be different today because of just the use of the other F word multiple times. And again, I think
certain situations that,
they can get away with that sometimes in that it's a period piece or whatever. And it's like, look, this is the way that it was back then or whatever. But, I don't know, man. it's 2021.
Yeah, the inappropriate use of little people in that movie, I think, would probably cross the line in 2021.
But that was inappropriate in 2013.
Well, absolutely,
it was,
but it's just different.
We needed
it's more
to know,
offensive now.
We needed to know what shitheads they were. Though.
I mean, there's not really much you can do. It's a true story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't tell them they can't fucking put. It's a true story.
Yeah,
like
if he says they were throwing
little people.
People around. Thank you. Dwarves.
So is it true or is it like based upon
It is true.
True story?
He was
Yes.
a part of all of it. Like he.
In fact, somebody had already mentioned in the chat room a really interesting fact. When this guy, Jordan, was in prison after his sentence, he was cellmates with Tommy Chong.
No shit.
And Tommy Chong is actually a huge part of how all of this happened because he encouraged him to tell his story, write a book, get it out there, and then it just snowballed.
That is crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
And look at the guy now. He's worth negative $100 million.
Okay, about that.
Yeah.
You
Wait,
said
what?
that
Is that
earlier, and I don't understand. After all of this, that can't still be true.
None
is
of
it?
that. None of that.
It's the same
wealth
website
thing.
that says you're worth $48 million.
That's exactly
And
right.
we know
Got
it's
it. Okay.
$148 million.
I thought he was worth
Yeah.
like $100 million now.
It says minus
really
100%.
He's
But
definitely still.
He's making.
Loaded.
He's doing.
he had to have made a fortune off of those conferences and speaking, and then he had to have made a shitload of money
Yeah,
off
he
this
had to have
movie.
had-
He's
Yeah.
a big social media dude too. Like he's. I mean,
He's doing all right.
You want to fucking listen to some still like offensive ass random shit? Follow him on TikTok.
Really?
Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah,
I would
it's
love to do that. Okay.
fascinating. And he tells all types of stories, and he goes off and confirms and denies. People ask questions, he just answers them. It's
That's
pretty
cool.
fucking crazy. Like he just takes shots and talks about hookers and cocaine and
Well, he's still drinking.
oh for sure.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh,
Well, no surprise here. Actually, a little bit. I mean, 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb, and right in line with that, 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm a little surprised. That seems low to me.
I could see people being
a
put
lot.
off.
It's
Put
a
off.
lot.
Sure.
By the whole
good
thing.
point. Good point. To me, again,
I forget that people get offended.
well, there's that, but also like you guys know that I just get entrenched in the acting. And when the acting is that good, sometimes to me, even just like all of that, as far as like the way that I would rate the movie goes out the door, like we've seen shitty movies with great acting and it's like, yeah, fuck it. This is great.
Yeah, but I feel like with this movie, it's kind of like Uncut Gems was for me.
Right.
Like, I know it was great acting. I get why people think it's a great movie, but
Yeah.
I'm like, God, this guy's been screaming at me for 45 minutes already, and I'm a nervous wreck.
Yeah, totally.
I think
That's a
The
good
pace-
example of
the
what I
pace
was going
of
to
this
say,
one is
actually.
like-
Yeah.
I think there's
Chaos.
if they're not offended, like Amy said, then the other portion of people who didn't like it are just in the enough already crowd.
Yeah.
Which I was
But then
starting
again,
to get there.
it's a fucking true story, so I feel like that's where
Yeah.
you have to like.
Isn't part of the whole thing of the enough already thing, though, just it's supposed to make you feel a certain way. This movie had that Goodfellas vibe to it where, and not necessarily the same. It more, it did the Pulp Fiction-y thing where it starts one way and then it leads you into where everything goes and, the timeline and all that, which was interesting. But I don't know, man. I feel like it's the reason that they left so much of it in is because you sort of need to not feel sorry for the guy.
right.
Yeah.
You sort of need to know, like,
he's a degenerate,
I'm
right?
rooting for you, kinda, because you're Leonardo DiCaprio, but you're kind of a piece of shit, you know? And then, and they had, and if they hadn't sold us already on hating the motherfucker, he punches his wife in the stomach, and you're just like, okay, well, that's that.
Check, please.
Yeah, 100%, right?
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I read somewhere that he had to actually they had to just stop getting stories because they were like, it's already a 3-hour movie. And he was
Right.
like, those are just the first 10. Like, I haven't even stepped on the other 22 drugs I'm like regularly addicted to. And they're like, I mean,
Jesus.
there's just
Dang.
a ton.
Yeah.
of
Guy.
information.
Man.
It made me want to try Quaaludes. I know they say in the film you can't get them anymore, but
Yeah.
Bet you if you know some
I'm
people.
curious about what that's all about. I'm pretty sure they say in the film that you have to wait 15 minutes. You have to like not go to sleep for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I know. I
No, that's
like
eating and
lick
then
a
swimming.
Benadryl and I'm out for fucking 17
I don't think it's
hours.
going to work for me.
Right.
I take NyQuil and just wake up on my kitchen floor 12 hours later. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That was nice.
It was a big thing back in the 80s. Like, I actually remember people in school doing lewds. That was, people. And there's the line in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, people on lewd should not drive. And that's when he wrecks the car. And my old man has an ultimate set of tools. I can fix it. But anyway, lewds were a big deal back then. I was so scared of drugs that just the conversation would come up and I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to not stand here anymore. We'll see you guys later. You know, but anyway, so
I might get secondhand lewds just
never-
standing next to you.
yeah,
I was gonna like,
my mom's going to know.
if I had like decided that I wanted to like just do drugs, I don't think that would be the one for me.
Which one do you think would be?
Oh, ugh.
Meth. Because we're
Maybe.
just one time.
No, just the one time.
Yeah, just
Man.
one time.
Here's a good meth story that happened this weekend. It's Dave telling the story, so it didn't happen this weekend, but I heard it this weekend. So we went to Lubbock, and when you're driving from Dallas to Lubbock, there's 2 ways to go, but either way, you're never like on like a real highway. You go either through Wichita Falls on like semi-small roads, or you go the way that we went through Seymour, which is really small roads and like just little shitty fucking towns. Like
But
there's
it
never
does have a Dairy Queen.
that does have a Dairy Queen, and we found it.
Yep.
But there's never any
Bless you.
like big truck stops or anything like that. Like everything is just like the Dairy Queen was the thing in the city, or a Sonic or whatever. And so as we're driving, we just kept going. I mean, people just live there, you know, like they just fucking live. Like you're going through like a decrepit city, and you're just like, somewhere there's a school and all these kids just fucking go to it, you know, like it's crazy. And so, you know, and then
Like where my dad lives. Like
It
how the
is,
fuck
yeah.
are they keeping all these people? I don't understand.
it's crazy to me, that drive over to your dad's, though, because it looks like most of the towns have been blown away, like by some sort of alien ship or some shit. Like it landed and just went, hey, we're sucking up all the we're just going to leave these buildings.
Get in,
Kind of
losers.
here.
Yeah, to kind of here. Anyway, and so it always leads me to that thing of like,
Thank you. Chat
where
room.
it's like, you know, like, well, maybe it's just a simpler life, you know, like maybe it's cool, and you just, you know, and I'm like, you know, the kids are going out and they're playing and they're digging up shit and they're throwing shit off stuff, and they all get BB guns at 5, and they got 4-wheelers, and you know, maybe that's the key, you know,
Yeah,
maybe they're
dude,
all
that's like Matt.
maybe they're all just happy. And so Dave goes, well, one time I asked this guy at a country show at a honky tonk in one of these towns, and I just go, I mean, you guys just live here? And he goes, yeah, you know, just, well, what does everybody do? And the guy just goes, meth.
Well, now it all makes sense.
The only way
Yeah.
to live there.
Right. But it's like, that one, I guess, is the one. Like, if you're going to, I mean, if you could guarantee somebody that they would only do it once.
No, I'm wearing adult braces right now. Okay, I'm not fucking around with the teeth situation.
Oh, yeah.
That one's not for me. I don't know either. I'm not sure like cocaine would be the same effect. I feel like I'm like so riddled with ADHD. It might be like an Adderall situation where I just want to do math and like chill out.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. You might
Yeah, go to
find out that
NASA.
you're a beautiful mind, Goodwill
Exactly.
Hunting
You
type.
just got to open it up with the
Not
key of cocaine.
likely.
I mean, it made
Schizophrenic.
It's
it made crack look appetizing. You know, when they did the crack, I was like, I kind of want to feel like that. You
I just
know,
feel like I'd want like the forget, like maybe like a party drug, but not like the like forget shit party drug. Like I used to have friends. This is fucked up, but it's true. But I had friends that used to just take GHB for fun. And I'm like, you're gonna fucking just roofie yourself? Like, oh, it's gonna be so fucking fun. We're gonna hang out and we're gonna just like forget everything, like nothing ever happened. And I was like, that
No,
sounds
that
like
sounds
a nightmare.
terrible.
yeah, that's not good. I have enough problems with beer and that. Now, Eric, had you not, you hadn't seen this before, right?
No,
All right,
this is
so
the first one.
Let's try. Now, obviously, a lot of hoopla, a lot of hype over this over the last 10 years.
That's right.
So, you know, you might have caught a trailer or two, or who knows, but what did you think this movie was about? Let's find out.
Over to Eric synopsis.
Oh, good.
The wolf, Canis lupus, also known as the gray wolf or gray wolf, Graygrey wolf, is a large canine native to Eurasia and North America. More than 30 subspecies of Canis lupus have been recognized, and gray wolves, as colloquially understood, comprise non-domestic feral subspecies. The wolf is the largest member of the family Canidae and is also distinguished from other Canis species by its less pointed ears and muzzle, as well as a shorter torso and longer tail. The wolf is nonetheless related closely enough to smaller Canis species such as the coyote and the golden jackal to produce fertile hybrids with them. The banded fur of the wolf is usually mottled white, brown, gray, and black, although subspecies in the Arctic region may be nearly all white. Wall Street is an 8-block-long street in the financial district of Lower Manhattan in New York City. It runs between Broadway in the west to South Street and the East River in the east. The term Wall Street has become a metonym for the financial markets of the United States as a whole, the American financial services industry, New York-based financial interests, or the financial district itself.
Before it's too late.
That's perfect.
Really good. Man, that whole fucking gray thing just drives me up the wall.
I hate it so much.
It drives me up the wall. Because I
think
feel
you
like
lost me at species.
I think
don't even know,
people are trying to switch over to the EY thing, and I specifically remember crayons from when I was a kid, and it said GRAY.
It is Gray.
I'm telling
What
you, man.
is GREY?
If I buy,
It's British, like Earl Grey.
I'm telling you,
if I
though.
go by hair color and I want to buy one for gray coverage, it's going to be EY.
I'm telling you, people are trying to switch that shit over here, man.
I just
They're
gotta
gonna
switch back
next
and
thing you
forth.
know, they're gonna put a U in favor.
I ain't gonna
don't
let
like
them.
that.
I ain't gonna let them.
I always,
Ain't nobody sticking no 36-inch tube up my ass.
No.
I spell theater with an RE, and I thought I was right my whole life. Then someone told me I was wrong, and I looked it up, and I was still kind of right.
No. Those are interchangeable. So ER and RE, and it's like donut and donut.
I
They're
had an
interchangeable.
English teacher that marked it, and I was like,
Or catsup and ketchup.
I still do.
That's right.
up?
Both are absolutely words, and they mean the same thing. But theater
are
and
words. That
theater,
is true.
I
Me
still
and
write
Brian used to say theater and theatry. They're the same.
Theatry.
But that's
Center and century.
we would always. I always use theatry because it just makes you look a fucking
Aye, man.
more of a theater kid.
I feel like we're already from
Church.
Texas, like theater. Like we don't need any more ers. Like, where do
Hey,
you
Wrangler.
guys say fur? I catch myself. We listened to something the other day, and the girl was like, "Well, yeah, but that's because we were waiting for like the bus." Like I
Sure.
say that.
Waiting
Yeah, waiting for
the bus.
No
Yeah.
one says for. I was waiting for the bus.
No.
No one says that.
I feel like that's like one of those
I'm waiting
dumb
for
texts.
the, I was
That's
waiting
the
for
number.
the bus.
The number
Waiting.
That's
four.
like the type of shit that makes people think we sound like morons.
waiting for the world to change. See, he says it.
Wow, John Mayer.
Yeah, he does. He does that.
You love John Mayer.
I like John Mayer.
I just said you love John Mayer.
Yeah, I think he's super funny. Okay, Eric.
Over to Eric for his synopsis.
Based on the true story of Jordan Belfort from his rise to a wealthy stockbroker living the high life to his fall involving crime, corruption, and the federal government. I mean, I guess.
All right. Yeah. I think it would have been hard to summarize this movie.
A
Actually.
3-hour movie.
Yeah. A 3-hour tour. Can you imagine that? The Gilligan's Island boat was supposed to be out the exact length of this movie, and they just had to live there for a long time.
Do we know how long they ended up? Someone know?
It's a thing. Like that's been. It's.
I'm surprised we haven't seen that in trivia.
I'm gonna be honest. Did they get off the island? I actually don't fucking know.
Yeah, they made a radio out of coconuts or something.
Yeah, but I thought that happened like early.
Yeah, that
did it?
happened. Yeah, Professor figured that shit out like super early.
No, people always say like, "Are you a Ginger or a
15
Marianne?"
years they were on that island.
I'm a professor.
Yeah. So Ginger and Marianne are like which Three's Company girl you like. I think it's like when you're young, you just automatically go for the glamorous one, and then it's as you get a little older, you're like, what am I thinking? This is definitely a Marianne thing. You know?
The one that
you
knows
really
how
think
to
the other
cook
girl's
and-
hotter in Three's Company, the brunette?
No.
That was a terrible example.
No, it is. It's a great example. That she's not in the conversation.
You just said Three's Company.
Listen to me. It's which Chrissy or So it's whether it's Suzanne Summers, the girl who shows her boobs in Mallrats, or Cindy. So those three are and then they're all there with Janet. But which one of those do you pick? You know, and the answer is Terry, which is the girl that showed her boobs in Mallrats. That's the correct answer. Plus, she was a nurse, which is just, you know.
I would pick Terry from Reno 911.
Terry?
Oh, that
he can roller skate.
is that what's his face? Yeah.
Derek
Nick
was Terry
Nick Schwartz
for Halloween
and-
one year, and he did the roller skates and the short green shorts and all the things.
It's such a great character.
And he can't roller skate.
Man, that scene in Juno where those dudes are running and their dicks are just flopping is just the funniest shit.
My name is Jordan Belfort. Not him. Me. That's right. I'm a former member of the middle class raised by two accountants in a tiny apartment in Bayside, Queens. The year I turned 26 as the head of my own brokerage firm, I made $49 million, which really pissed me off because it was $3 shy of $1 million a week.
Man,
Would piss me off too.
you know, when you hear that kind of shit, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like you make the 49, you pay the taxes or whatever, you got 28 million in the bank, something like that. That's it.
Yeah, you're good.
I mean, see ya.
I think that there's some. I think
I
about
kind
this.
of get it. You set a goal. You want to make it. You're just shy. Like, why not?
Oh man.
I think about this when I watch athletes hang on a little too long, or even people who like this. Who's this Jeff Bezos? You guys know Jeff Bezos?
I've heard of him.
that guy. Who is that?
Okay, I have a
And
different view of that guy now.
You even want to just keep putting up with all this shit when you could just go do literally anything you want for the rest of however much time you have left on Earth, which could be tomorrow or it could be whenever. But why?
You've got enough money to make it to whenever.
Whenever, and your kids to make it
Right.
whenever, and so there must be some sort of competitive
I feel like-
internal thing that makes them singularly focused on only this.
I think you're completely right. I think it's something in their brain that makes them that way. They were born that way. Like Michael Jordan. There's nothing that would ever get in his way of becoming the best.
True.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between like chasing wealth and chasing like notoriety. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's
And it might start as one and morph into the next.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you want to just be, you know, if you're that wealthy, you're surrounded by wealthy people, but you want to be the one with the biggest fucking name, not just the most money.
I guess so, but I would just fuck off forever. See ya. I'd still do the show, guys. Don't get me wrong.
Not to be like holier than
wouldn't.
now, but I just don't know why you wouldn't get into other shit that's like, you know, and again, look, here's the thing, right? Like, if we had another hit and I didn't ever have to worry about, you know, whatever, I would still do everything I'm doing right now. Like, because I love what I do. I just feel like in these situations, like with that guy, just like the adrenaline and all of that, it just seems so tiring. Like, why wouldn't you just go get into philanthropy or some shit? You know, like take that knowledge and that will and just go do something awesome, you know? But
So just because I do follow this guy on TikTok, the real, whatever the hell his name is,
Jordan Belfort.
the real Wolf of Wall Street. It's interesting that you use that as an example because somebody asked a question like, he goes, one thing in the movie I never really got was that he said money makes you a better person. And he goes, it's like one of the few things that like I didn't agree with in the movie. He goes, because it doesn't make you a better person. And he goes, and money can't necessarily, he goes, money is like alcohol. He goes, it just makes you more of what you already are. So if you're a fucking asshole and you get drunk, you're a bigger fucking asshole. If you're an asshole with money, you become a bigger fucking asshole. If you're like a good person that wants to do charities and wants to help people, then you're the fucking life of the party. You're buying everybody drinks. You're doing the thing. That's kind of what happens. So you can't really say.
So interesting.
You know, you should do this or you should do this. It's the person. It's just, it makes you more of what you already are, is what he said, which I thought was an interesting
God, I would be a
perspective.
total dickhead then.
I'd just still be so sleepy all the time.
Oh, man, it
Yeah,
just all
can't
of,
change that. All the money in the world.
I mean, the intro of this obviously gets us into like what his life is like, a few years before everything comes crashing down. Speaking of crashing down, he's driving the fucking helicopter and the pilot's just letting him, and it's
Because nobody's going to tell him no.
right. That's and that's what you're supposed to get from that, right?
Right.
Early on, you're supposed to get like, he's eventually going to get to because now you go to a scene where the guy's telling him he's lower than pond scum.
Right.
And, at that point, you're like, okay, so that's the juxtaposition of like him being so rich and so powerful. Nobody would ever tell him no to this guy, just literally just degrading him like he's a piece of shit.
Then we immediately get to see post Dallas Buyers Club Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so obvious that this had to have been, he was either preparing for that role
He had just finished it.
or had just finished it because he looked.
That's interesting. I didn't
I did
think
think he
about
kind of
that.
looked shitty. I didn't even think about that. He was still
yeah.
like hadn't had all the weight back.
So he took him to lunch and they ordered some shots.
Did a little
And
coke.
they did some cocaine, and he did some other conversations, and just whistled all his S's.
Then they do all that weird chest bumping
The
weirdness.
Right. So Casey has some insight on this, which I think is super cool.
So apparently that was not like something that was planned on being in the movie. It's like some type of relaxation technique that Matthew McConaughey does before scenes. And apparently Leonardo DiCaprio just saw him doing it and was like, we've got to fucking get a shot of you doing that. Like that has to be in the film. And it just became this huge iconic part of it. And
It may have relaxed him going into the scene, but it kind of stressed me out.
Yeah, especially
Like,
when he
why are
adds
you
the
doing this?
for no reason, It's just, but the cool thing is when Casey told me that, I think it's super cool how they reintroduced it at the end, where there he is, and this is his first meeting, his first lunch on his first day, and he learns this technique, and here he goes and he starts doing that to his empire that's in front of him or whatever, and it's not the first time they've heard it. They all join in and they know that this is a big part of the thing. I think Matthew McConaughey is just he's a great fucking actor too, man.
And he gives some good advice here.
He does. Yeah, he really does. But I like first though, at the opening of that day, I skipped this and the clock strikes and he just goes, "Let's fuck."
Yeah.
It's just like,
Everything's a fuck or a shit
yeah, 100%.
or a.
I like the concept that this guy that's already like way above him, just because he says to him, I heard that you tried to like sell a stock like during your interview. He's like, I wanted to be set apart, and he just knew like this guy's something.
Yeah. He starts to talk to him though, and I guess this sort of preps you for, okay, here's where this movie's going, because his first thing that he says is fuck the client. Like, our job is to put food on the table.
The explanation that he gives where he says, you get them to, they buy for this and eventually it's worth this, but it's not real until they cash it out. Then all of a sudden you've actually got in your hand this tangible thing, this money, a check, or it goes into your account. But until then, it's like the cryptocurrency that I have.
Sure.
I can say I've got this, but do I?
Right.
Really? It's just out there, and it's a number that I
That's
check.
why I don't understand
Once
it.
a
I
week.
know. I would love to
I don't
actually take one
understand
of
it
those
either.
classes to understand it, because not that I necessarily want to be in it, but I just the thought of being that far behind in something that's clearly going to be a huge
I'm
part
not
of our
heavily
future.
invested in this. I've got enough to retire for about 40 minutes, and then I would have to start working again. But
Yeah.
it's just, but it reminded me of that because, I check it twice a week and go, oh, well, it's up or it's down. But at the end of it, I just close the app and that's the end of it. It's not a real thing. It doesn't change my life at all.
I'm with Casey on it. I feel like, the time to get into it has passed, because whatever decision I make is going to be 100% wrong. And that's what he says. Rule number one, no one knows what stock is going to do. None of us know this. Like, everybody is just gambling.
And the fact that we see later on, it can be so easily manipulated by people who have an interest in it being
Yeah.
high or low or whatever. gives you zero faith in kind of that speculative. I mean, not everybody. People invest. People have mutual funds and 401ks, and they put it in portfolios that kind of, on average, will return some amount of growth over time that you can basically count on. But people who are really speculative about this hot stock, this new company, this thing, how easily that can just be taken away from you because somebody who owns 85% of the stock, like we see later, decides that they need to get rid of it, or
dude, I mean,
whatever.
Look at Martha Stewart, dumping all that shit, and because knowing that
a lot like you,
me, what did I do? Oh, jumping all my shit. Yeah.
Oh,
Honestly, it's just liquid now, and it's
not
super
really
clear.
a dump as much as like
no.
When your dad used to crimp the water hose outside, and you go look in there. And
running the Keurig without the K cup.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. When it does do a squirty thing, doesn't it? Yeah.
I never get Eric. That's awesome.
I remember
the Keurig flush.
The Keurig flush. I remember Steve Madden getting in trouble for this. And
really?
I remember that there was some deal with his stock and all of this, but I whatever was happening in the world, I didn't really pay attention. But I remember that it was a thing, and I think he really did get in trouble for dumping all of his stuff.
He should have gotten in trouble for making ugly ass shoes.
Right.
Listen, those were super comfortable.
I wear Steve Madden
Yeah,
shoes all
people
the time.
love that shit, right? They
not into it.
They like it. All right, but rule number 2, stay relaxed. You got to jerk off more. I don't want to, but I have to.
Once in the morning after the gym.
Yeah. Once after lunch.
That's just a weird thing to tell people because they just know after you eat lunch, like, oh, there he goes.
There,
Everybody just knows.
Sure. Yeah. Well, maybe not everybody knows, but he was the head honcho. He probably had a private bathroom or something.
You got to make time to do the things you love. And I think that's really important kind of in life in general.
Right. Yeah.
Masturbatorium. As the book Running with Scissors would call it.
What's weird is like thinking about like what it must have been like for us to masturbate before we had iPhones. Like it's kind of one of those things where you don't remember what life was like, but without
use your imagination.
Yeah,
and my imagination is terrible.
It's like how did we get water before there was bottled water and we were out and about? But we fucking figured it out.
It's like you had to rely on any experience that you may have had. So, like, I always just ended up imagining my Uncle Lonnie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
That's a hard thing to jerk off to.
All of us do. Yeah, we all jerk. I still jerk off to your Uncle Lonnie. And then and then there's the cocaine. He's pretty adamant about it. You're going to have to do this.
Yeah, there's some.
You're going to have to do this.
A little bit.
And so, the thing that he has to do, though, is he's still not like a real stockbroker. He's got to take the Series 7. And he does that, and his fucking first day after as an official stockbroker, Black Monday happens.
Yep.
And that's like a really, really bad thing.
Closed down investment firms and brokerage firms.
It's a U2 song.
Is it? Oh, Monday, Bloody Monday. Yeah, totally. It's way different than Black Friday. Black Friday, it's so much happiness, and people are just out and shopping and buying television.
No,
fighting over
no happiness.
TVs and
it's all fighting.
No, but it's awesome now that it's all online.
Oh, it is. No, that's Cyber Monday.
Oh,
they do Black Friday too, though.
Yeah, they do.
They had to because
like
people
the
were
whole
beating
week.
the shit out of each other, right? Now they're like Black Friday deals starting November 1st.
That's true.
Remember when IKEA opened and everybody it was like a fucking riot?
Right.
That kind of shit happens, though. I mean, that happened when In-N-Out opened here,
but
too.
Those meatballs are
That was
delicious.
just like a long ass line. Like these people were like literally beating the shit out of each other to go get like
$8
a desk.
shitty
shelves,
fucking
A Sporkenborg.
Klorgborg.
Yeah.
A what board?
a
I have no
coffee
idea.
table.
Sporkin board.
That's a
Sporkin,
Sporkenborg.
gurkin, burkin.
All right, I got an idea for
Where's that
Merkin.
department?
Yeah. Well, I think we saw 2 Merkins in this movie, by the way.
I've got an idea for trivia on Wednesday night. Is this a real IKEA product or something I just made up?
Or a sneeze.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kuchenberken.
That's not fair. No, that's not even fair. That's one of those ones you just have to put yes on all of them and just be like,
Just hope.
that the split is good.
I've never had those meatballs.
Me neither.
Actually, I haven't either. I've just heard they're
good.
delicious.
Yeah, I mean, do you eat them there or you get them and you bring them
Surprises
home?
me
You
that
eat them
people
there. There's like a little sitting area.
would just make the time to just sit down for 25, 30 minutes in an IKEA to
I
eat
think I
lunch.
would get some and
It's
walk
less weird
around
than
with
the people
them.
that eat the hot dogs at Costco.
But a lot of people do the thing though where they go they make it an afternoon and they go halfway through and then there's like a restaurant in there, you know, and they have a fucking babysitter and
that's true.
Yeah, but it's
all that
all
shit.
like weird Swedish food, pickled fish, and
Man,
He has too much pressure. I don't like
Weird.
the lighting. I don't like the arrows. I feel like they're really aggressive. Like
it's
if you
yeah,
forget
very
and you have to go
commanding.
back, it's just like fuck you. Like
yeah, I don't like the fact that there's one way in, one way out. Like it just to me, like I don't want to walk by.
there are shortcuts.
I feel like IKEA's one of those places
Really?
where you get to the downstairs area and then you fill up your basket. By the time you get to the shopping cart, you're like, I don't know the shopping area, whatever.
I don't want these bowls
You don't
anymore.
want any of that shit.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, they really do reel you in, right? With like, oh my god, that is a really good price for a
Spatula set.
firm pillow, and it comes with a free oven mitt. You know,
Fake
And-
succulent plant.
Right. Yeah. The fucking fake succulents. They're so, you just want it. I don't know. My favorite thing about IKEA is where you go in and they have like the actual apartment set up. Like
Oh,
if
I
you
love
only
that.
had 125 square feet,
And I'm
here's
like-
what you could
I'm
do.
like, I could live here.
100%. I agree. Like this, if I got a tiny house, I'd just fucking go to IKEA and this would be.
It doesn't make me want a tiny house. It makes me wish I fucking knew better when I like lived in a tiny home.
Sure. Like how to
You
put it
know?
together better.
Like, man, if
Yeah.
I had gone to college, that would my dorm would have been cool. Like, I don't fucking
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. This couch here in the daycare is an IKEA leather couch.
Oh.
And this thing has, and it served us well. We had two more, but we had black mold outbreak at the Bowling Pursuit practice space one
Whoopsie.
time, and they were
no.
cloth. We had to get rid of those.
R.I.P.
So they are no longer. They're not with us anymore.
Just the Blugensporn left.
Just the Blugensparken speaking. Now, so when this guy goes in, I mean, this guy's born to be a salesman, right? And I mean, is it too early to talk about how fucking good Leonardo DiCaprio is?
Never.
I mean, to me, it's just absolutely mesmerizing. I think I've said it on this show. I think he's this generation's actor. Like, I think he's the fucking Marlon Brando or whatever the fuck, our parents had. It's just fucking unbelievable, his reach and how he can go from this timid dude, and going into this world or whatever to that scene where he's fighting with his wife and she's throwing the water on him, and just the difference in those two people is fucking crazy.
The mania that he gets into, the kind of one of the things that I hate about actors is when they have to act drunk.
Yeah.
Because they all
Yeah.
and it's so stupid and
Right.
put on, and he has to run the whole gamut of drug use and
Yeah.
alcohol use. And
Probably fucking did it. That's probably what he did. Probably just like
Just a method- he's a
method acted.
method.
Like, he was just
A meth
Sign-
actor.
method.
sign me up.
He's like, all right, it's today's smoking crack day. All right,
Yeah.
everybody,
Sign me
action.
Apparently the real guy was like on set and did kind of like coach him through some of like, especially the drug things.
And
Like, this
Scorsese,
is-
he told him like this is how it should look. So they would
Yeah.
use those lenses and all kinds of different ways of shooting it. That's crazy.
here's how
He said
here's
they
how
spent a
this
year
would
together.
make you
He said-
feel.
He said he like credits him to it. He's like, everyone knows Leonardo DiCaprio is a good actor. And he's like, but this isn't fucking talent. He's like, it's not just pure talent. It's fucking hard ass work. He spent an entire year with me, like watching my fucking mannerisms and
Wow.
listening to my my voice patterns and my things like that. He's
Really?
He's like, but nobody fucking works harder than that guy.
Yeah, I believe it. I
Pays
do.
off.
Now, did he win the award for this movie?
No.
He didn't win
No,
until
he-
2016. His
Revenant.
first
For
Oscar.
the Revenant.
Okay, so
That's a big deal.
But Jonah got nominated for this movie too, right?
Supporting actor, yeah.
But he didn't win. He won for the Madball,
Moneyball.
Moneyball, right?
That was a great movie.
Believe
I didn't
so.
see that, I don't think.
Yeah, that's the Brad Pitt baseball movie. Am I right in this? Is that
I
when
think
he?
you're
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I really did feel. I know this was like the Jonah Hill, like this was like wasn't this the big one, like the first big one?
This
Matt-
is the first big
the
one.
first serious one, right?
Was
Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't Moneyball? Was like the first serious one?
What was
like,
it?
I thought this one was before Moneyball.
maybe
No
it
way.
might have been.
Moneyball was 2011. Okay.
Yeah, so Moneyball was, and so he got nominated and fucking won, you know, and then he started getting these serious roles because I think people had to take him serious at that point.
I just feel like I literally like just watching this movie from the beginning to the end. I feel like you literally like watch him become a better actor by the end of it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Jonah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like at the beginning, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, kind of weird. Maybe a little awkward. Maybe the voice is kind of funny. And then by the end, it just was so.
But I think
Convincing.
he was supposed to be weird.
I was about to say
He was
maybe
weird, but
in the
it-
beginning, maybe that was him being weird, but then by the end, that was him becoming that salesman. So maybe
Yeah.
that seems like he's becoming a better actor.
I just
Sure.
think that I can believe that like Leonardo DiCaprio is anybody. Like I don't just look and go, okay, it's Leonardo DiCaprio. He was on there and I was like, okay, it's Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
And then it took me till the end to be like, oh, he's this guy. Like,
Yeah.
and all of a
I
sudden
really only
buy
had a
it.
couple of moments where it was something that he said where like the Jonah Hill voice came out, but it really wasn't that much. I mean, I think that first scene where we're just like, okay, it's weird because you got the teeth.
It seemed like a bit at first.
Yeah, and you're like, but you know, you're trying to get to know this guy and what he does, but you know, and then you know he's obviously married to his cousin, and that's a whole thing. And then you figure out like what a fucking dick he is. Like we just take him out in the field somewhere and go be free. You know,
Yeah, if
I'm
they
just
hadn't-
fucking with
If
you.
they hadn't
wouldn't do that.
acknowledged the teeth, if the teeth weren't like a thing, it would have killed me the whole movie. Like
Yeah.
the fact that he was like, he had these weird fucking freaky super white
Chompers.
teeth, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Totally. It fit, you know, it made him that kind of weird dude. Well, anyway, so, you
I
know,
don't think he won an Oscar.
no?
I don't think that.
Oh, ever?
No, I don't think he's won one yet. I think he's just been nominated twice.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm sure that's coming at some point. She said that. Now, Investor Center, he answers the ad in the paper because his wife is like, you're not going to go be a stock boy. You're a stock broker, you know? And, you sort of see where this relationship is headed, obviously, because we already know that he's married to the other guy. But here, you know, it's the age old, like, move to New York. I've got the super supportive wife and then cocaine, you know?
Yeah, and a bunch of money
Yeah.
and all the power
the trifecta.
and all the stuff. So
Yeah.
now all of a sudden, you know, whatever her name was from Long Island,
Long Island.
that ain't good.
Long
Now
The
I
Island.
know-
mom from How I Met Your Mother. Spoiler.
So did y'all know about, I've heard of penny stocks before, but did you guys know anything about them before
No.
this? Like,
I still
mean,
know nothing.
Penny Loafers. I know what those
Okay, all right, I got it. That was that Penny Lover, the Lionel Richie song.
Penny from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Penny
That's a good one.
Wise.
Okay, all right, Penny. Okay, good one. A band and
think
the
we're familiar.
It thing. Okay, and Penny Marshall was Laverne.
Yep. Schlemiel.
This just in, right?
Oh, my God.
Oh yeah, she dated.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, she
What happened?
Her heart
she
stopped beating.
died. she just
She
wasn't
stopped
alive anymore.
Being alive.
Tragic, man.
You see that Gunther died from Friends?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
I just immediately went, oh, and then I was like, okay, how do we spin this for a trivia name?
Oh, yeah.
I
for
know it's
sure.
really fucking with the trivia name because I just assumed we were going Alec Baldwin on
We
this.
have to. That's way more.
It's
you know,
bigger.
But you know, do you want to tell them my Alec Baldwin joke?
I don't know if I can deliver it on the spot. You said, I swear to God, I still believe it's the funniest thing he's ever said. And I don't know why I think it's so funny because I'm sure he says things that he thinks are funnier than this. But we were like laying in bed. I don't even know how the conversation came up. And he said something about like 70s bushes or 80s bushes. I don't know how it came up. And I said, did they even have bald ones in the 80s? He's like, oh yeah, there's Alec and just started naming all the brothers.
Steven.
Yeah.
And I fucking like couldn't breathe. Like, I mean, every time I think about it for like a week, I just like would cry. Like, it was so fast. Oh yeah.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
Yeah, of course, dude. He's in his 70s, man. Pretty fucked up thing, man. I mean, that's topical, right? It's this is a movie podcast, you know. I mean, man, and it seems like he's into some trouble because you know he's the producer of the thing, and the crew had walked out because it was unsafe, and he pretty much was like, "No, we're gonna keep doing this." And,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
what
hadn't heard
happened?
all that.
One more time?
Yeah, so the initial crew had walked out. They under unsafe circumstances because there had already been, I think, 3 incidents already where something was wrong from a safety standpoint. And he kept things going. And yeah, man.
Well, the number of people, which I shouldn't be surprised, but trying to politicize this in some stupid ass
For a prop
fucking
gun?
way. Believe me.
Oh my God.
They'll find fucking Donald Trump Jr. selling shitty ass smarmy t-shirts on his website, you know, poking fun at the whole situation. Like he's not the biggest fucking cocksucker in the whole world. And it's in such poor taste. And again, it's just take something that by all accounts was a fucking tragic, terrible accident and turn it into some bullshit because you're quite literally one of the biggest pieces of shit in the entire world.
Yeah.
It's mind boggling.
It does.
But again, not surprising even a little bit.
I don't understand how you would politicize this. I mean, I guess
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, okay. No, it makes sense. So they're basically probably just being like, fuck you. You impersonated my dad for 4 years.
It was he's a Democrat against the NRA.
Got it.
And so, look what happens. The big NRA guy.
My God.
Now
maybe that's why he's against the NRA, because like guns are killing people and shit. Like,
yeah, I don't know. And you can be pro-gun and be against the NRA.
I'm from Texas. Everybody's pro-gun here.
Right.
I mean, like, what are you going to do? But like,
but you don't have to support those morons either.
oh my God.
Sure.
I've not heard that part of it. I think it just seems like a fucking tragedy. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
sucks.
I have no idea that any of that was going on either.
Well, you've been a little busy. You were at Formula One.
I was hanging with the celebs.
Yeah.
You knew.
Yeah. By the way, to finish off her story about
the Baldwins.
Baldwins?
No. They're I guess the girls are like growing hair down there again now. That's what I heard.
God, you must be in hog heaven.
Yeah,
And
it's
that stuff
fucking
starts to make
way
its way back
it's
out to
way
the
better
internet?
now. It's way better on the internet now.
Good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Funny.
I only learned that because Chelsea Handler had a joke where she goes, yeah, I mean, so I'm going along with the trends. I have it all lasered off, right? And now everybody's growing it back again. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Now she's stuck there
Smirking.
like a hairless cat.
Yeah. What am
do
I
it.
supposed to do down there?
Anything permanently.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so
But guns don't kill. Alec Baldwin kills.
Amy, I think that might be the shirt. I've definitely heard that.
Ridiculous.
But Amy did go after she texted me about Ben Stiller. She goes, "Hey, if I see him, I'll fucking punch him in the face for you." And I said, "That's because you're a goddamn good
I
friend."
never saw him though. I looked hard.
Oh, the rumors were that he was there.
Oh yeah, we didn't finish
We
that.
didn't
I don't
finish
think.
the story.
But the next day, I was scrolling on Instagram on the way to the track, and I saw that Ben Stiller was there, and I took a screenshot and sent it to him. I was like, "Holy shit, he's here!"
Yeah, this fucking
Kristen
This
Bell and
fucking
Dak
guy.
Shepard were there.
Oh, I would give them both a big hug. I love them so much.
Yeah, they're great. They're one of those couples that I think it'd be fun to hang
They're
out with
just so
them.
blonde, you know.
Yeah.
They're like Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck. Probably will be together forever.
Yeah, you're probably right.
man.
Yeah, like A-Rod
Wait,
and
what? Don't
And J-Lo.
and J-Lo.
Just then.
Just fucking,
like Liam Neeson and his wife.
Yeah.
Ooh, what happened there?
Oh, she's
she
dead.
did.
She got hit by a tree while skiing, I think.
She got hit by a tree.
She Sonny Bono'd the shit out of that.
She got Abbotted a little bit harder than Greg.
Oh man,
Shit.
that's some dangerous shit, man.
She just wishes that she couldn't walk the rest of her life.
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Well, I don't know what she wishes because she's dead.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Skiing, guys.
Wrong
it's-
kid died.
What's more dangerous, skiing? Oh wait, so that's what I was asking you guys. Penny stocks. Did you guys know anything about these
We know
things?
Penny Marshall.
Okay, we
Penny
already did this
loafers.
bit.
Oh.
We did this bit, guys. But I've always heard about this, but I had no idea. Like, I mean, I guess again, this is a true story, so I guess this is accurate. But you know, they're cheap for people to get into, and the commissions are 50%.
It's the kind
What
of
did
thing
he
that
say
just
that-
makes a bunch of money in a very short amount of time for a
Right.
very specific set of people, and then it goes away, and you got to find the next thing.
But isn't that the thing? There's people who literally this is what they do. They sit at home in front of the computer and they trade penny stocks all day, but like hundreds of thousands of shares of this shit that like And then, if it goes up a few cents, then you sell kind of thing.
Yeah, day trading.
Day trading. That's what that's
That
called.
sounds horribly stressful. I don't know how anybody does a job on Wall Street. That blows my mind.
I'm a day trader.
When I see the videos of the floor of the stock exchange and them on 2 phones at once and turning it upside down and yelling at this guy and throwing paper around, like, what the fuck?
I truly don't understand.
It's mind-boggling that there's not a better system. But there is a movie about those guys down on the floor called Quicksilver with Kevin Bacon in it from
Trading Places.
Yeah, you're right. Trading Places about that too. But in Quicksilver, he's actually one of those dudes. And so I think you get a little bit more insight to it. But to me, it just seems like chaos.
Yes. And I don't thrive on chaos.
No, I do.
I shut down.
But only on tour.
I thrive on naps.
Yeah. I curl up in a ball and cry.
When I'm home, I don't want chaos. On the road, I just want fucking chaos.
You just want a party.
It just keeps me awake.
Sure. He really does want naps too.
Yeah.
I don't take naps on tour though. I just
You
sleep.
wake up at 5.
Yeah, I sleep till 4:00 in the afternoon.
That'll work.
Yeah, it's all good from there.
You mailed in my company a postcard a few weeks back requesting information on penny stocks that had huge upside potential with very little downside risk. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, yeah, I may have sent something.
Okay, great. Well, reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute?
Actually, I'm really very busy.
Name of the company, Aerotine International. It is a cutting-edge, high-tech firm out of the Midwest awaiting imminent patent approval on a next generation of radar detectors that have both huge military and civilian applications. Now, right now, John, the stock trades over the counter at 10 cents a share. And by the way, John, our analysts indicate it could go a heck of a lot higher than that. Your profit on a mere $6,000 investment would be upwards of $60,000.
Jesus, that's my mortgage, man.
Exactly, you could pay off your mortgage.
This stock will pay off my house.
John, one thing I can promise you, even in this market, is that I never ask my clients to judge me on my winners. I ask them to judge me on my losers because I have so few. And in the case of Aerotine, based on every technical factor out there, John, we are looking at a grand slam home run.
Okay, let's do it. I'll do $4,000.
4,000, that'd be 40,000 shares, John. Let me lock in that trade right now and get back to you with my secretary with an exact confirmation. Sound good, John?
Sounds good.
Great. Hey, John, thank you for your vote of confidence, and welcome to the Investors Center.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
How the fuck?
Yeah, so
I love
great.
that scene.
Yeah, it's so good. Just everybody coming around. And I love the fact too though that and I'm sure that's true, is he goes into this place, it's just a shithole of like, and all these dudes just, just and everybody just sitting there all miserable and dirty and shit. And then but some of them end up making it all the way to the end, and go through this whole ride with him.
Yep.
And
That place looks like it smells terrible.
it looks like it smells like my dad's old car lots. My dad used to own these mildewy used car lots back in the day, and it stunk so bad in there. And that's
How bad did
and they
it?
smoked, and it was real stinky.
All the smoking inside in this movie going on.
Yeah,
Boy.
I'd say that shit though, Amy, all the time. Like that, we obviously we watch Teen Mom and shit, and they'll just walk in it, and I'll just be like, oh man, I bet that house fucking stinks. Like you just know. Yeah, but she disagrees with me sometimes. Sometimes you don't think the same houses stink that I do.
I'm a little less snobby than you are on the judging of the stinky houses.
Yeah, I just can tell.
Some of those girls look like they stink too.
Well, that's accurate.
Ugh.
That is accurate. Yeah, especially on Young and Pregnant, they look super stinky.
You can tell that that's the dad, like the dads, the baby daddies. Like you're like, that guy smells like a fucking onion and some Axe body
Ew.
spray.
Yeah.
Gross.
God, that's gross. Well, we do get to meet Jonah Hill here, and as we said, it's a bit of a wacky meeting. And here's this children's furniture salesman who is so overtly just inappropriate, just with his we live on the same building, I think, right? You're on the 12th floor, yeah, no, 4th floor, whatever. But hey, how much? Finally, it gets to how much you make. Make $72,000
How
a year.
much did you pay for this house?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Man, I have told this story before. At the house I bought in Wiley 4 houses ago. I hadn't no sooner moved into this fucking place, and I'm outside dicking around with my lawn or whatever, and my neighbor comes over, and I can just tell I'm going to hate this motherfucker forever. And he's kind of like this, kind of goofy, but also from like Wisconsin. So everything he says is like real loud and like in this type of cadence delivery system,
Totally.
you know? And he just looks at my truck, which is just at the time, Silverado 1500, nothing fancy about it at all. He goes, I like that truck. And I'm like, oh yeah, thanks. Bought it at the used car dealership. You know,
the truck store.
How much did you pay for that thing? I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, man, you know, I really don't remember. It's been a couple years, you know, and so that goes away. And he asked me what I do for work. And so, of course, I have to dumb it down because even Kelsey doesn't really know what I do for work.
Sure.
And so I'm just like, I work for the internet, you know.
Yes.
That's what I do. Oh, okay, man. And not a week later, I just get a ring on my doorbell. He's standing there with his teenage daughter, and he goes, she's in this computer class up at the high school and has got to build a website. Can you show her how you build a website, how you do it?
What?
And I'm like,
the fuck?
buddy, I'm in the middle of, you know, work, and that's not actually what I do. It's, you know,
the internet is breathing down my back today, man.
Buddy, you know,
get back to
you know
it.
how many people are on the internet right now? You know, and I've got this big switchboard.
They're using
you know,
it as we speak.
Oh my God.
Rerouting internet bandwidth across the globe.
Did you say, like, can your daughter fucking use YouTube? Because my friend the internet says,
Jesus.
Like, you can just
teach
go
you
to like
anything.
Squarespace and just
or pay
drag a
attention in
picture
class.
onto,
Yeah, lady.
you know, and here's your website. Man, we didn't live there very long, which was
I
good
can
because
see
I
why.
would have murdered this fucking guy.
Yeah, I'm a little less weird about talking about money than I used to be, just because I worked for a guy that like made it like he's like, everybody needs to know how much everybody in this fucking salon is making, because then you know that you're not, this person's making 6 figures and you're not. Like, it's your fault. You need to keep up the pace and do what they're doing.
don't
Like
hate
he
it.
was, and it kind of made me a little bit more comfortable. But we had a neighbor that does not live here anymore who would just like, first of all, she asked around the neighborhood first to try to figure out how much money Jarrett made.
Oh,
She also did a paid background check on him because she just knew he had to have a criminal record or something. And then just flat out asked me, just goes, okay, I just tell me, like, so how much, okay, not even just how much does he make now? Because that's like, how much, like, what's the most he ever made ever?
that's
Yeah.
insane.
And I said, I don't know, because it's rude to ask. She was just like,
that's so strange.
that's ballsy. I could just never imagine, like, just being like,
Derek is kind of that way, but not in a, I don't know. He'll walk into somebody's house, like first time at the Fisher's house. Oh God, I'm so embarrassed. He walks in and he sees their backyard, and we wanted to do our backyard in the same style and this kitchen and all the things. And he's like, man, nice house. I mean, this extension here. How much does this cost? And I'm like, first time here. We barely know these people.
Yeah. I don't know. So
that feels less weird for some reason.
it
But maybe
does,
because we don't know
but,
them
I mean,
all.
and the thing is that like people that I know, like people will ask like, how much did the pool cost? What did the kitchen cost and all that? And I guess it depends on like how much you know
If they're
somebody.
asking
But
about
like,
because of
Absolutely.
recommendations, like we've got friends that were building pools. They ask about the pool, you give them the numbers because then
I definitely get in more conversations than I'd like to with people asking me that question. And I mean, and sometimes it's like people that we're pretty close to where, you know, it's like that I probably wouldn't share it with anyway.
it's because it's because the internet says you make that you're worth $14 billion.
Right.
Right. Well,
People,
you know, I
people
don't
just
know.
have to get to the bottom of that.
Hey,
But-
those were some huge hits, you
Yeah,
guys.
I'm worth 14
Well-
something. I don't know.
yeah, but that's
14
including
grand.
the real estate investments, the private jets, and our yachts.
You're heavily invested in moats. I know that.
Yeah, I know the moat information.
Guys, it's been updated.
Uh-oh.
Your new net worth is $12 million. When I started here,
What'd
it
you
was
spend
15.
it on? Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know where
COVID's
this
been
money
hard
is.
on everybody.
Yeah.
And
But hey, it says
the
you're only
Reddicks-
48.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Well, I am 49, so yeah. I went into. I took Jack to the doctor the other day, and they had me born in 1971. And I was like, I'm not 50 yet. Like, don't do that. That's
Don't
not
do
very,
that to
That's
me.
rude.
It's not very nice.
I'm obviously holding on to every bit of youth I ever had.
Of course.
So
you know, I'm
don't-
still singing about high school for a living, for Christ's sake. So, you know, again, these two are getting to know each other, and this is where he's just like, I got you a present out back. Yes, Casey.
I'm so sorry. I just Googled to see if I could find the other website that said that. This one says that you are born in Grapevine, Texas, a renowned podcaster, musician, singer.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
We got a podcaster.
Yeah. Well, I am a podcaster. I mean, I now currently have the same amount of podcasts that I do bands, which is interesting. I got you a present, Eric. Let's go smoke some crack.
It's crack. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but it's
and
crack.
he's just going, smoke. Come on, man, smoke crack with me, bro.
Is this before they knew how bad crack was for you?
It has
They
to have
just
been,
knew
right?
and
I mean, it has to have been before they knew that
Didn't much care.
crack was, you know, I mean, it's funny. Like, I don't really understand like what the distribution of drugs is. Like so people in small towns and like poor cities do meth, but like, do rich people do meth?
Probably.
Where's the opiates?
Oh, that's
Is
a
that
big
soccer
thing
moms?
for, yeah. Well,
that's like the middle class, right?
That's big everywhere though.
No,
I mean,
yeah, there are like, I think that's because it was prescription based.
Right.
I think it hit every demographic.
but heroin is
So it's an
cheap, right? And that's an
all-inclusive.
opiate, right?
yeah, but I'm talking about like the prescription opioid.
Yeah, the pills and
crisis.
stuff. Yeah.
You know, they were prescribing that to all walks of
Sure,
life.
sure.
And then
Except for Abbott.
Yeah. Yeah, except for our governor. He can't walk. He is alive.
sorry, I misstated that. All roles of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
By the way, Casey Fisher was over the other day, and he I think I've told you guys this on the show, but he will sit up on the
Oh, God, did
stone.
he do that again?
Oh yeah, he does. He sits up on the stone wall of my pool, and then he does this is how Greg Abbott jumps into the pool, and he like throws himself off sideways. With
But he'll keep his
and
knees
he
at a
keeps-
90 degree.
Yeah, everything stays the same. And it's fucking never
Geronimo.
not funny.
So I have this buddy who's a bartender. And you get late enough in the night, and he wears a headband because he's just kind of a goofy dude. And he'll put his 2 bar keys on each side so they hang down. And he'll put on sunglasses, and then he does his Stevie Wonder shots.
Oh,
And so he
yes.
does this, and he holds the mixer thing in 2 bottles and just pours the liquor on the ground while he does this. He's got these long things. And it's
That's a funny bit.
That is
It's
good.
funny that he sticks with it long enough to like pour the alcohol on the ground too. Like
And
that's
it kills me every time I've seen it. It's time for Stevie Wonder shots.
yeah, that's
Things
amazing.
go
You
in.
get nothing.
That is a good bit for sure. All right, so so he starts recruiting people from his hometown that basically and I love these intros too, right? Where he's just like, now this guy, he sold this or whatever. And then, you know, he sold a little weed. And then this guy, he sold everything, you know, and like literally anything and
Mostly weed.
and weed, you know, like everybody just sells it, but except for the Quaalude King, who is the dude from he's from the first season of the zombie show.
Oh, I never watched that.
Walking Dead. He's like the dude who was Rick's best friend that like shacks up with his wife while Shane, they think he's dead. And then eventually they,
Find out he's a zombie.
he gets killed.
That happens
Now I
in
don't
those
have to watch
zombie
the show.
movies.
I'm just interrupting because I just went on I went down an Abbott hole.
Ugh.
This
rolled
website's
down an
wording
Abbott
is so
hole.
fucking weird. There's no harm to assume that Jarrett Reddick's net worth must be of a grand sum. All thanks to his wealth, he is able to live a comfortable and lavish lifestyle. As mentioned above, Jarrett Reddick's fortune must be a grand sum, and with all that, with a network like that, he lives a comfortable life with his family in Texas. He shares a blissful and lovely marital life with his wife Casey.
Okay. Well, that's
Together,
nice.
oh, there's a
amazing.
picture of our children. That's creepy.
It's like they just.
and I'm like, they don't. I could fucking hate you. They don't know anything about us.
Right.
It's like
that's
they
true.
taught a robot to speak English.
Yeah.
and then
exactly what it
it
looks
Sure.
like.
typed
Yeah.
out thing.
What the fuck?
Is our life blissful? I mean,
And-
I like you and everything, but shit.
And
Blissful and lovely, okay?
Okay, sorry, got it.
and of most blissful engagement of marriage.
Yes.
They are betrothed. Well, that clarifies everything.
But yeah, it's all in here is between 14 and $26 million is your internet net worth.
Y'all should go to the
Jesus Christ.
high side of that.
I mean, maybe I'm leaking my profits somewhere or some shit. I don't know.
You're leaking
It's your
somewhere
butt.
else. Yeah.
I am leaking out of my butthole. That is true, actually.
Yeah, that's what's
Good
happening,
point.
actually.
Yeah, that is point. So, but that scene with the Quaalude King is so funny. He just sitting
he's
out there
working
on his
out.
workbench and he just talking, hey, hey, tell your sister come by here.
Bring me
Whatever.
some of your sister's panties.
Yeah,
next
bring me
time.
some- she doesn't want to talk to you. Like, and then
Mom, we got any chicken?
we got chicken. Mom! So funny.
Weird.
Yeah. Now, so this is the, again, he's talking to his wife and she's just like, this is, you're doing this and you're selling to all these people that, they kind of need the money. Why don't you sell this? Why don't you sell to rich people? And
That's a good idea.
like, it's a pretty fucking good idea, right? Like, why not? You buy 200,000 shares of something again, and it goes up a nickel. I don't know how much that is because this isn't a math podcast.
Be about a
Goodness.
million of something.
And a nickel.
And a nickel, right? So that's the launch of Stratton Oakmont, which is this is the story really of him and Stratton Oakmont that this guy takes this freaking just shitty company and their idea and takes it to a thing where instead of targeting garbage men and a lot of post office workers, we're going to target the top 1%. And that first sale that he does, right, where he's just like shooting the finger at the phone and like, and then he gets done with the whole sale or whatever, and he just goes, "Fuck this guy."
Yeah. Because it was never about making them any money.
No, absolutely not, man. Well, they, God, this company had made $48.7 billion, which is fucking crazy.
I don't understand that number of monies.
Yeah, I know. It's a little bit. I saw a meme the other day about Jeff Bezos versus Elon Musk and like what their fortunes were, 5 years ago and what they are now. And it's just like they're both worth $500 million. Like they both almost have. Well, they have no. They're both almost like $500 billion.
Yeah.
I mean.
That does not make sense.
They
to
say
me.
Elon Musk will be the first trillionaire on Earth.
Really?
Is what they say.
Oh
Because of
my
this like space shit and whatever.
How is that making money? It seems like he's spending money on it.
Man, someone smarter than me will have to explain why. For example, and I have asked this of plenty of people, my boss, who's a supporter on the show, my brother-in-law, who lives a couple doors down. So I work for a company that is successful, usually puts about $200 million a quarter in the bank. We'll make $500 million. We spent $300 million to make it.
Right.
Man, this is
This
a
goes
math
in the bank.
podcast.
And I'm like, that's good. Almost every year we're putting almost $1 billion in the bank or, whatever. And our stock price will just go up 8 cents, $1.
Yeah.
Whatever. Trades at $40 a share. And then I look at a company like Uber, which has never made $1 in its entire existence. It bleeds money. It loses hundreds of millions of dollars every quarter. And the stock price is, $400 a share. And I can't figure out, it must be the speculative nature of what it's going to be at some point in the future or whatever. But why would a company that makes money every quarter be so valued so differently than a company that just burns through money with the hopes that one day it makes a lot of money? I can't understand it. Someone out there, I'm sure, does, but it ain't me.
Nope.
Yeah, that's I don't understand any of it, to be honest. I don't
even understand what I just said.
I mean, it makes
Me
like
either.
that's the one thing that I know about. Like, Dennis was telling us, Casey's stepdad was telling us about how like through COVID, like Blue Apron and HelloFresh and all of their stocks have just skyrocketed because everybody's doing these meal plans. That makes sense.
Sure.
Like, oh, okay. So they're doing really good, so their stocks go up. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't really understand how something not profitable is
Worth
that highly
money.
valued. Yeah. And I didn't know that about Uber.
Me either.
I had no idea.
It's why every time that one of the Uber investors is on Shark Tank sometimes, and he looks like a real cocksucker, and he's all smarmy, and he's like, you know, I was one of the first guys to invest in Uber, so like I basically know my shit here. I'm like, you invest in a company that doesn't make any money. Like, how is this?
How do they not make money?
Yeah. How do they not make money? I mean, they have
Because
zero.
the drivers don't make as much as they charge.
And they have zero overhead.
Right.
Like their drivers
Well, they
pay
have
for the
overhead.
car.
I mean, but you know, you've got servers and stuff, and you've got support, and you've got R&D and tech. But I don't see how you could spend more money than that costs. I'm with you. I don't understand.
And just, I mean, to me, Uber Eats through this pandemic has to have just absolutely fucking killed.
Not in this house, though, because I cook all of our meals from scratch.
Right.
That's right.
That is nice. We've never had deliveries
With
of
vegetables from your garden.
Yeah.
I saw a pepper out there when I was down there earlier. Yeah. A single?
Well, they're all.
Yeah, I'm about to gut it
everything's-
for the season.
Everything's done. Yeah, she had a bunch. It was
Thanks for nothing.
bunch of little peppers. Next time we'll know that you want some. So Danielle gets her head shaved for 10 grand. And she's going to spend it on a boob job because she's got C's, but now she wants double D's.
And the crowd goes wild.
And they go
That
wild, right?
looked real.
It did look real. I think it was real.
I didn't look it up.
I will tell you that, like, that actress was actually really good because at the end of it, it sort of looked like she was like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. As she's like,
That's why I thought that it was so real, just from her reaction. So unless she's amazing,
yeah. It
There
was,
were
looked
a
pretty
ton of someone would come on the screen and be like, I recognize that person. Like even the judge towards the end.
Yep.
I paused it and went, that's somebody.
yeah, there was a bunch of
Somebody I
people
know.
making appearances in
Hair
this.
Department head Michael Kristen got on the phone with us to reveal that from the moment those clippers made first contact, there was no acting required. A Los Angeles-based stylist named Natasha Newman volunteered her locks for the sake of the scene, and he explains more, but
I wonder how
apparently
much she
that
got
was
paid.
real emotion.
do you know how
Yeah.
much she got paid for it? Was it $10,000?
And a boob job.
and a boob
Yeah.
and a boob job.
And
yeah.
a boot job.
She didn't have to spend her own money on it.
That makes sense because her reaction again, like just her when she's getting up, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they didn't even shave it all the way to
I
make it
know.
look nice.
Why do they always
Oh,
do that in movies? Like they always just leave a few strands
Because
there.
they didn't give a shit about her.
Right.
That
Yeah.
is
I mean,
true.
Well, they don't give a shit about anybody,
Yeah.
obviously.
They're not going to be like, oh, do you like it?
How do you think you get a marching band to come through in their underwear? Because marching bands are always associated with some kind of school. So maybe a college marching band.
Or you just find
know?
some guys that were in marching bands.
Yeah, but
get your
you
costume
don't
and-
have your own instruments a lot of. I mean, especially like drums and stuff like the
French
school.
horns and
Probably
stuff.
money.
Yeah.
The school provide. Yeah, good point.
a
I'm
whole
sure
bunch of money.
somewhere you have the. Okay, well now we know.
It's how they got the strippers there too.
And then the
Was
strippers
like-
come in or whatever. And it looked at first on this scene, it looked like they were going to have the strippers fight. Did y'all think that too?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they
it-
all
it
like
did. It looked like
run
they were about
into
to
each
wrestle,
other.
yeah.
Yeah. And I was
Yeah.
just like, Jesus Christ. And then, I mean, people are passing them, dudes are passing them around and like grabbing them and falling down and shit. It's just like,
Oh, there
My
was
goodness
a
gracious.
little bit of information about one of the strippers on that yacht. And they had to they had to remove her from the scene because she kept getting all up in Leo's business.
She wanted the real
She
deal.
was
Right.
not acting, and she was up just humping on him.
Oh,
and
she
they
just
had
humping.
to tell that lady, back off, you're now gone.
yeah, wow.
It's one of the problems being Leo DiCaprio is everybody wants to fuck
Can you imagine? You're
Yeah,
just
probably,
sitting
I think
there.
including this hairstylist because apparently she is the sister of a very good friend of Leonardo DiCaprio's.
Yeah. By the way, somebody just put if you Google Jared Reddick, Jared Riddick net worth, one of the alternate search options is Bowling for Soup singer dead.
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
What?
I've seen that one before.
I've seen that one pop up too.
Are you
I just
okay?
found an even creepier page actually. There's a whole page dedicated to just me, and it does say like and this year, Everett finished his second year of school, and she gifted him with several gifts for his achievement and all these different things. And it says, like, who Emma's boyfriend is and all these things. And then it says that despite my fame and recognition that I've earned, that I seem to be private and I love a life away from the media and the limelight.
You've always been really good about
the heck?
I'm so humble.
Yeah.
You really are.
What the
Good
fuck
for you.
is happening?
Yeah,
right
it's
now?
fucking creepy as shit. I don't like the pictures of the kids thing, but
Yeah,
I guess if you put it on fucking Instagram nowadays,
I
it's
mean, that's
public.
just it. I mean, that's one post of me going, Casey, you got him like the end of school thing and you filled the thing up and then
Lavish gifts.
and lavish gifts.
a llama, a real llama.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but they don't understand that she's like mommy dearest. After we did the pictures, she goes, choose one.
Yeah. We're sending them all.
All
back.
the rest is going to charity. What?
She's like my mother.
Yeah,
that was Amy's mom.
Oh my god, the best fucking story ever, man.
Yeah, you might need to tell that one again because.
Should I tell that one?
Yeah,
I think
of
you should
course.
because I tell this story to people all the time, and
Well,
I'd love to hear it one more time. Make sure I have the details.
I'm trying to remember how I think I was 7 or 8 because we were still in an old house, but it was Christmas morning, and my brother was always the brains behind all of the manipulative
Operations.
actions. Yeah, all the operations. So he comes into my room about 4 a.m., says, "Hey, let's go get our presents. Let's open them, and we'll wrap them back up and put them under the tree. But let's go figure out what we got." Yeah, okay, sure.
Oh no! And Christmas morning too.
Christmas
You were
morning.
so close.
I know.
You were halfway around
he
the
has
track.
no patience, and I
Yeah.
can be convinced to do damn near anything.
Right.
So we go and take all the presents back to my room from the Christmas tree, and we start opening them. And my mom wakes up in a sheer panic because she hears something. And at that point, we didn't live in the best part of the town. So she thinks that somebody's in the house. I'm in your house. Was there. And she runs up because my room was close to the front door. So she opens my room and sees my brother and I with all the wrapping paper and everything in there. And I don't remember my mother ever yelling. Even in this situation, I don't think she ever yelled. I think she closed the door calmly, went into the living room, took her deep breaths, and then came back and said, "Okay, put everything in a pile. You can each pick one thing, and the rest is going to charity tomorrow." And she worked for a nonprofit that we volunteered at regularly, so we had to give all of our shit to charity because we scared the shit out of her on Christmas Day.
So was it because you scared the shit out of her, or was it because you
Opened them without
opened
them?
all the presents
Yes.
with no permission?
all of it.
All of it.
Every time, the first time you told me that story, I was just waiting for like the.
And then they brought it back a week
and then
later.
they brought it back. Yeah, and she was just like, "Nope."
Me too.
No, we
Yeah.
loaded, and we had to go with her in the Suburban. We had
man.
to put all of it in there.
Were you
We
guys
had to
like
take all of it out.
hysterical, or did you just fucking accept it?
I pretty much just accepted it.
What
I
did you
didn't
choose?
I didn't get in trouble very often, and so when I did, I knew it. I knew it was coming. I deserved it. But my brother, on the other hand, I mean, there were probably 4-letter words all over the place. I picked a sparkly pink baton.
Lame.
Right, like the cheapest present there.
Cheapest present,
would.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I let the poor kids down the street have the pony. You know,
That is nice.
God damn it, man!
to eat
yeah,
for dinner.
like that is $1.99
Yeah.
back then.
But man, I
Yeah.
love that fucking thing.
Yeah. Oh man, did you learn how to twirl a baton?
Probably.
Yeah.
That along with my skip it. I could do both of them.
Oh yeah,
You know
that's
who's
good. I
really
remember
good at a skip it? My mother.
I see that for
Yeah,
her.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I
Skinny
could see
ankles,
that
you know?
for sure. Now, the Forbes magazine thing happens, and again, it's funny now that I'm thinking back. It's like all the time, his ex-wife always has the wisest words. I mean, if it weren't for her, he wouldn't have went to the first place. He wouldn't have started selling to rich people. And now this Forbes magazine comes up, and he's like, "It's a hatchet job. They call me Wolf of Wall Street." She's like, "All publicity is good publicity. You know, you never know."
I wonder what that lady's doing now.
Who knows? You know, or who she's doing.
His
You know,
or who? His ex-wife.
I
Like
know.
that.
I wonder because they made it seem like he was pretty wealthy, and I mean, I doubt they had like some great prenup
Oh
situation.
no way! There's
at that
no way
point.
they did. But did she get out? Did she get her money from that divorce? Because she had to have gotten something, like you said. Because
yeah,
hopefully she did.
yeah, and
then
then
it all-
and once that happens, that's hers, right? I
Yeah.
mean, Well,
Can they come after it if it was illegally gained, though?
I don't know how that works. I mean, I don't. I mean, if she didn't do anything wrong, how can they seize the money? You know, I don't
Well,
know.
then how
Yeah,
do
but
they
if you-
prove that she didn't do anything wrong?
But if you take delivery of a stolen TV,
Right.
you didn't steal it, you didn't know it was stolen, but they will come
but it's
take that
still a stolen
TV from you.
yeah.
Take that motherfucker, huh?
Ugh.
Good thing you
maybe.
have 800 TVs, so you don't have to worry about a
Right.
situation
We get
exactly
TVs
like
coming
that.
out of our asses.
But
Yeah.
you know, if someone gave you a free Ferrari,
Right. Maybe that was, yeah, I don't know, man. That's fucking weird. But anyway, it did. It made him a superstar. And he starts talking about like what happened with the insanity in the offense or whatever. And he's just like, I had to make it a fuck free zone between 9 and 7 because everybody was
so weird.
everybody was just fucking
Banging.
in the bathroom and all of that. And, you know, but as he's going through all of that stuff, he's just like, yeah, we had this one lady that came in. She was an assistant and she blew everybody. Like one day me and Donnie took her in on a Saturday and double teamed her, and you see all of it. And he goes, and Ben married her even though she blew the whole office. And it's like that. There's a beat. And he goes, then he killed himself, you know, a few months later or whatever. Just like,
So the real Donnie it has like addressed this movie. He's like, this is bullshit. This whole thing's pure fiction and all this
Oh.
stuff. And the thing that he's most defensive about is that he did not have that three-way with him. He's like, I would never have sexual relationships with a man there. Like maybe I've had sex with there being multiple women, but never with a man. And it's kind of funny that they made that nod about him at the gay bar.
but there's a lot of innuendo about him being gay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He came out and he was like, absolutely not. I'm an
Yeah.
established member of society. He said that. And he said, and we, this is fucking stupid. He said that he was not involved in the mistreatment of any little people,
Oh.
right.
that they treated them very nicely.
Right.
Not that it didn't happen, but like that was the
Okay.
thing. But he does. He's multiple times like, this whole thing's bullshit. That's not how it goes. And I definitely, like, I've had sex with lots and lots of women and lots of women at the same time, but never with another man in the
Never
room.
with a man.
I'm like, that's the thing.
buddy, fucking relax. It's not gay for you and a dude to bang a chick together.
Yeah.
Unless it is, and then it is. And you
Yeah,
just gotta
sometimes it is,
live
I
with
think.
it.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, if you want it to be, that's up to both of you, you know, to decide that if that's going to be a part of
hopefully.
the whole thing. Right. Well, you know, yeah,
I mean, you
reach around
Sometime
comes,
a
you
sneak attack, you know?
you accept the reach around or you don't.
you get
the
in a
Dutch rudder.
situation like
The
that
Dutch
enough
rudder,
times,
exactly.
and a man could slip in there. You'd never know.
Right. Well, there you go. I mean, you just never, ever know. So Mad Max is, I love how he introduces Mad Max, but he doesn't say that it's his dad yet, you know? And first of all, it's Rob Reiner. And you guys don't know who Rob Reiner is. One of the greatest directors of all time, Spinal Tap and When Harry Met Sally and tons of great movies. But, and then he was on a sitcom called All in the Family, which is one that could not be made today. Because the Archie Bunker was the main guy in it, and he was a racist.
I know, but that whole show was about how absurd it is to be a racist.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but still, I think you'd have some trouble with
Yes,
it.
unfortunately, along the way, we've lost the subtlety and
Sure.
nuance of understanding.
A nice spin-off of that was The Jeffersons, a very, very good show.
Spinoff of that was 227.
227, that's right. Florence.
227 then spun off Mork and Mindy, which spun off Happy Days,
That is not true.
which spun off Perfect Strangers.
None of that is
a
true.
lot of people don't know that.
Happy Days spun off Laverne and Shirley and Mork and Mindy.
And Mork and Mindy spun off.
I believe Dukes of Hazzard, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they moved to Hazard County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Boss Hog.
By the way, have you guys seen the trailer going around with the guy who's playing Robin Williams in his life story?
No.
And
I don't think that's real.
what?
That's
It's
just-
fake?
Yeah, that's just the guy. He's been doing impressions of him forever. It's just wouldn't it be cool if this guy did that?
Got it. Okay. So it's not an audition. He really is spot on, man. He's fucking great. But they got somebody to play her too. The character from the Mindy character.
Yeah, I know. It's just a
She was
stage,
probably available.
just a stage.
Wow,
thing.
that's wow.
Oh, that was a really good wow.
Yeah, I didn't even mean to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sean loved it. As one
Anyway,
does.
Mad Max, when he gets angry, he starts talking in a British accent.
All right, cheerio.
Yeah, so good, so good. Now let's get back to the little people conversation, because this is where it actually they catch up with the movie to that point or whatever, and it's this whole meeting about them hiring these two little people, or one at first, but then it's just like now here's the thing, a couple of rules: we can't look them in the eye. You got to kind of look at their chin,
And they'll latch on from across the room.
yeah, and don't do that. And also, we can't throw food at them. So, we can throw food. Okay, we do throw. We can. Now, what about?
Can we bowl them?
Yeah, we can't. No, that's his brother. So we can bowl his brother. Oh, that's right. Well, can we get him to? Yes, we can get him to. That's fine. Now,
it says right here he will do nudity.
He will do nudity. Okay, so yeah, well, it's like what? So just don't. So we can't like pull his cock out and just start, like doing that, or like just. Well, I don't know. Let's keep that in our back pocket, and we'll. Oh no, it does say here. Yeah, he can.
They put a lot of thought into it, which I thought was really nice. I mean, maybe
it's respectful.
What Casey is saying is true. They did treat him respectfully.
Well, here's where it's some of the ways that they put it, though. He goes, well, first of all, he's like, and they can get very aggressive, so we'll need to have like a taser gun and that kind of thing. And then he goes, now also these things gossip, so we don't want it going around that we weren't respectful and all of that.
People.
And Jordan just goes, hey, we just treat it like it's one of us. And everybody is just that I couldn't even write down all of them. It was so good and funny and obviously horrible at the same time.
It was so horrible, but
funny.
But funny, yeah, it was funny. Well, and that's funny because I didn't realize that there were two of them until we just watched that clip, and so turns out they did hire his brother as well.
That's good, because if they're not going to be in a circus,
yeah,
or like playing Willow in a traveling like Broadway,
right.
Troupe or something, what else are they going to do?
There's kind of an obsession here, right? Because then he does Oompa Loompa impressions later. And so he's just...
It's a real fascinating thing in 1987.
Yeah. Is that when this took place? This is obviously based in the 80s, right?
Well, at least it starts in 87 with the Black Monday.
Sure.
Who knows
yeah.
how?
Okay. So that's... that makes sense. Yeah,
I know.
$430,000 in one fucking month.
Morning. They're business expenses. Relax.
Business expenses?
Yes.
Jordy, look what you got here.
What?
Look at this. $26,000 for one fucking dinner.
Okay, no. This could be explained. Dad, we had the Pfizer clients.
Right, the porterhouse from Argentina.
The expensive champagne and the wine. We had to buy champagne. And you ordered all the fucking sides. Tell them about the sides you ordered.
The sides, so...
Sides?
Yeah.
Sides? $26,000 worth of sides? What are these sides? They cure cancer?
The sides did cure cancer. That's the problem. They were there. That's why they were expensive.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm serious. I know.
Stop.
And EJ Entertainment. What the fuck is EJ Entertainment?
Well, that's
Yeah, Jordan, what's
how
EJ
do I
Entertainment?
describe this?
Jordan, what is that?
It's a fucking prostitution ring, Jordy.
I know.
That's what it is.
That is what it is.
Isn't that the perfect description for it?
That is what it is. But none of these were charged to me. This is all of them.
Oh, that was all us.
It wasn't me though. Fucking explain this shit to them.
Well,
These are all your fucking charges right here.
You guys, the IRS, they allow for T&A. It's fine.
T&E. T&E.
Yeah, I said T&A.
No, you said T&A.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You did. When did I say
You
that?
said T&A. It's T&E, all right?
I know you're upset about the dinner, and that makes sense because we did spend too much money, but I said T&A.
Don't tell me what you said. I heard what you said.
Dad, he said TNA.
He did. He said TNA.
Absolutely no question.
Yeah,
I heard it.
I'm getting this
Fucking
close.
sweating. Dad,
I'm getting
relax.
this close.
That's what I'm saying. I want you to open up more, Max.
He's gonna fucking kill you.
Why do you
kind of
hold it in? Why do you, Max? Why do you hold it in?
That's it. Get the fuck What kind of hooker takes credit cards?
A rich one.
So good,
Or
man.
now, I mean, I bet you anything a stripper, hooker, you could just get a QR tattoo on your arm.
I love it.
And
I
be
love
like,
it.
I accept, or maybe on your ass.
Sure.
I accept,
Yeah.
Venmo and.
But
all
yeah,
the
I'm
things.
sure you can Venmo.
That sounds right.
Yeah, money app.
Cash App.
Cash App, is that the thing? Like it's a
Zelle,
yeah.
but they have to have like...
We gotta have
Chase
Wells Fargo,
Bank
right?
or something.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
Chase too? That's a Wells Fargo thing.
Yes.
He's like, there's three type of hookers. There's blue chips, which are the expensive ones, and there's the NASDAQs, which are, they're all right. you know, and then just like the pink slips and
you wouldn't want to fuck them.
But we fuck them.
But we fuck them.
Yeah, but you know, we fuck them, but
get tested.
Yeah.
Get some penicillin.
Yeah.
He starts to talk to his dad about just how girls are now, whatever, and he's just like, and Dad, here's the thing, they're all shaved. They're all, and he's just like, no bush. He's like, yeah, no bush. He's like, I never minded the bush, really.
I was just born in the wrong time, I guess.
Now, but what's funny about that is we saw 3 full frontal nudes. 2 of them had bushes. Did you notice that?
No.
I noticed that kind of thing.
I didn't notice.
Yeah. So the 2 on the boat.
I know Margot Robbie did not.
She did not.
Boy.
No, that girl did not have any sort of any bush at all. But the 2 on the boat did. So I wondered if they were Americans. They looked exactly the same. I didn't pause it to try to check it out. Maybe I should have.
Enhance.
Yeah. Yeah, and make it. Oh, I know what enhance means. Eric's doing the hand motions to show me what exactly that means. I thought, just then there's this party and they're playing beer pong with whiskey on a pool table, just
splashing it around, not being respectful of other people's property.
No,
and
that's for sure.
Jacking off in front of guests.
Well, yeah, that's coming. So, oh, hiya! I don't know where any of my stuff is anymore.
Uh-oh.
Roadhouse.
So he gets into like a full explanation of lewds, which is that it was started to help women sleep, but then people figured it out that if you waited 15 minutes, it'd make you really super high, so you can't get them anymore.
So high.
And so high. And then, of course, there's the whole Steve Madden thing where, they decide that, oh, this is a good idea. We get into this thing. Now, this party, of course, is about to escalate really, really quickly because he meets Naomi, sees her from across the room, and, quite frankly, isn't very nice to her date.
Not nice to the date. Not nice to his wife.
Right.
Not nice to his wife's friend who comes in and says...
But isn't the wife's friend Donnie's wife?
Oh, yeah. Maybe,
and then,
maybe
and so how quickly she turned. She's all just, friendy with the new wife once that happens. I guess,
we got to stick together and go shopping together.
Yeah, we got to stick together. But yes, then just all of a sudden they get into an argument about whatever, jet skis, and he's like, let's get out of here. And then Donnie's just jerking off right there. Yeah.
He also says that never happened.
So Donnie says that he never did that. Yeah. So you do kind of wonder, like, how many liberties do you take with somebody like that? Like where you're just like, you have to worry a little bit about like slander and things like that, I guess.
That's the thing. I think that would be tough to do.
He just kind of kept saying like, why is this guy want to live in the fucking past? Stop living in the past. Like I was like, it's clearly like he just has like some kids and shit now. And this huge movie comes out where this huge star is portraying him, and that's the stuff they're showing.
And that makes sense too. And I really do think that like him being homophobic because he's probably got some gay tendencies and has been to the Lollipop Guild.
There's 2 jokes there for sure.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Okay.
So anyway, he finally takes Naomi out on a date. I love how he goes, I fucked her brains out for 11 seconds,
That's a classic Eric move right there.
Oh, yeah?
Sure. Oh,
yeah.
Big time.
Good for you.
Here's all the things I'm going to do to you.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Well,
and, I love that he felt where she goes, did you come? And he goes, yeah. Did you? Like, no, she didn't. Yeah. And, but anyway, and then there's the poor dog, all he wants is some loving. Now as he's like going into this, it's like he's like, we had similar interests, like we really got along, and then he's doing coke off her tits.
Well, that's an interest, you know, whether it's a productive one or not. He didn't say, we're both into F1 racing or we're both into other things that people are into. I wouldn't know. I don't have a life.
This would be a weird way to get caught cheating on your wife
in a limo.
her opening up the limo door, you're snorting coke off of like this Barbie doll looking chick's
at the Trump
boobs,
Tower.
At the Trump Tower, and then she just beats the shit out of him.
You know what also I thought of in this movie, speaking of coke off of people, there is this one scene where he's doing coke from this woman's butthole.
He's blowing it into her
He's
butthole.
Into her
he's
butthole.
blowing it into her butthole.
Oh,
I
okay.
wondered if that was morphine though, because it was in a bottle, and I thought it was liquid.
Well, whatever it was, I want to hear from that actress. You know?
Oh, right. That
like,
she
just tell me about that day in
had
her
her
life.
butthole
Actually,
in Leonardo's face.
I guess now's a good time to announce that at Lava Cantina, that's October.
Oh, also one other thing that I missed. The Steve Madden,
Yep.
Dennis Hoffman's son.
Interesting.
That's who that is.
Dustin Hoffman's son.
Oh, what did I say? Dennis. Dennis.
Okay, so the
Dustin
guy who
Hoffman's son.
played Steve Madden
Yeah.
was Dustin.
No,
Oh,
Steve
that's-
Madden is Dustin.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, now I'm getting confused. So Dustin Hoffman's son is the guy that played Steve
Yes.
Madden. Yeah, okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked very
Okay, now that I'm looking at him, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. We had Dustin Hoffman on the podcast recently when we did Rain Man. You guys might want to check that episode out.
Definitely check it out.
What a great guest. I haven't listened back. I don't know that the interview made it in, but if you
I sure hope so.
Sean does cut a lot.
Yeah, he does.
To just get down to time.
He does cut a lot on there. So how about when they? Well, first of all, he's like 3 days later. I filed for divorce and moved her into the apartment. And she just, it's like you would think that he did put his ex up somewhere nice because they did have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you don't want to let these things linger too long.
No, that's it. But anyway, so she hires the gay butler, and he's just like, yeah, and I'd never had this before, or whatever. But then she walks in from the Hamptons.
Boy,
he's
the hottest gay sex I've ever seen.
And he goes, "Is it Wednesday already?" And he looks at everybody else like, "What the fuck,
you guys?"
But she's telling him like they were doing it here and here. Honey, why didn't you
right
tell
here?
me?
Yeah.
Well, they stole his money, and so this is when they call Jonah out when he's just like, yeah, my cousin Rudy, Rudy, right? But first he's just like, yeah, no, my cousin is what he says, cigarette in British.
Yep.
And I vacation with that guy. But anyway, so he gets called out for going to the Lollipop Club,
Which, I mean, if he does just like to get high and dance,
that's the place to go.
No better place.
100%.
Do you think he did it to his male cousin too?
Yeah.
Well, right, because we already know he's a cousin fucker.
I mean, the last karaoke bar we went to together, we went to a gay bar karaoke, and it was fucking great. They had a drum set.
We were the only people there.
That's not
We
true.
need to just go to one of those little like little karaoke rooms because we don't even care about people seeing us. We just want to sing.
That's a good idea.
I like people to see me sing.
It is true. Yeah, me too.
I get a little bit of satisfaction when I get off stage.
But there was nobody there. And it
I
was
like
so
the
fun.
high fives. I like the high fives when I come off the stage. Yeah,
that was really good, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't like the high fives.
Shucks, I don't know. I mean, I guess it probably was.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Right. I mean,
I
I
didn't have my ears in. I couldn't hear.
Listen, the guy. This is just a great place to come and sing. They just really got the room locked down.
Karaoke's for everybody, not just for people who are awesome.
You're like, they totally believed whenever I said it was my first time ever. This time.
Right. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, I do like that. This is my first time ever
Hey,
up here.
I'm JR.
They're all like, "You can do it. You got this." So I love that bit. That's a great bit. Well, let's see. So the SCC lawyers actually have to come into the office, and so he bugs the room and makes it colder than Antarctica in there. They're like, "Is it always this cold in here?"
I don't know.
It is a thing. Like when things like that happen and people investigate, you do have to accommodate them. So this is crazy, but so you guys know Dennis, Casey's stepdad, he makes sausage at Syracuse Sausage. They actually have to furnish the FDA. Is the FDA? No, that can't be right.
No, there's another big
Yeah,
one.
Food and Drug Administration, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but there's, yeah.
Okay, but they have to give them an office, like furnished office that they come in and work. And that's part of like, you have to do this, and the dude comes in there, he's got office hours and
what does he just like inspect the sausage or?
Yeah, he likes to just inspect,
pulls the
various sausage and
the sizes, how they taste,
how round they are, whether they're
Girthiness.
curved. Yeah.
Do they meet the FDA requirements for length?
Yeah, that's right.
And rigidity?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
They don't, but they say they do.
Can they?
Like most of us, that make sausage.
Yes, that is a 5-inch long sausage.
Yes,
What
it
are you
is.
talking
It's
about?
average. That's the average.
You said it was a good size.
Sausage was in the pool earlier.
Somebody soaked it in water.
Rubbing your hands now.
Well, sausage sounds good.
Well, he gets engaged, and they have
How many bites?
maybe the greatest bachelor party of all time. That flight is insane. And he's like, we got 50 hookers on the plane. We had 50 more waiting for us when we got there. But did you guys notice when he wakes up in the morning and he just kind of walking through the thing naked, and then he reaches down to that lady that's just on the couch. He sort of uncovers her. He kind of rubs her head for a second, and then just grabs her tits right there for a little bit. Then
Gives her a honk.
carries on with his morning. And that bachelor party cost $2 million, and they had to have some penicillin.
Makes sense.
So I'm allergic to penicillin, which is a good thing that I've never.
Stay away from the hookers.
I've never had an STD, but I am willing to learn.
You're
no,
not.
I'm not. Right, that's right. I'm not. I think they can give you something else.
I'm
Unless you
willing
get it from-
to have
So
an
many
episode of
things.
Snapped.
Unless you get it from Casey, and then I
Then
think
all of a
it's
sudden, I'm
fine.
going to love the limelight.
Right?
I don't really want you to. I don't want to get it from her because then that means that she got it.
You're
from somebody.
overthinking it.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I heard you get it from toilet seats. It's not my fault.
Yeah,
Or
right.
eating monkey brains.
No,
All
it can fucking gestate inside you for a while. It's probably from high school.
That could be it.
Can gestate inside you.
I gestate. There's a joke there, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's worth like fully exploring.
Let's don't. We don't need to do it. Plus, I was talking to Amy, and that would have been weird.
Well, this no gestate.
I had a Wiley joke the other day, a while ago, when you were talking about, and I didn't do it, but now I'm going to do it because we're doing these now.
Okay, so when I bought my house out in Wiley,
Yeah, but
and
then
my
your
fucking neighbor,
your neighbor came over, right?
Yeah.
Now, while
he was talking to you?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
While he was
Yeah.
talking to you. Yeah, sorry. Okay, thanks. Thanks for coaching me through that, Coach.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. Now, Aunt Emma, to me, I'm on Leonardo's side on this. I thought there was sexual tension the whole time.
Me
Same.
too. What are they talking?
Yeah.
What she's being crazy.
Yeah,
She's being a typical woman,
typical
Yeah, go
English
on.
dame.
just slyly putting it out there, and then the second you even act like it's something you're interested in,
Yeah.
snatch it away.
Well, she lived
Plus,
through
to
this.
see what she was wearing, she was totally asking
Yeah,
for
she
it.
was asking for it.
Exactly.
Totally
That
asking
tweed
for it. Yeah.
jacket.
Why would she do that? Why'd
scarf.
she whisper in his ear? He's just like, but she goes, oh, hitting the donuts. And because he's got Coke on his nose. And she's like, I lived through the 60s, my dear. And like, if that's not, hey, I want you to fuck me when you come to England, I don't know what is.
And the whole thing in the park, I
Yeah.
can't handle it.
Yeah, she was 100% into him.
I mean, because I feel like, and you guys probably agree with this, like I know women better than anybody.
Yeah, you do
Absolutely.
know
I
women
just feel
really
like
well.
I'm really in touch with
That's
like
true.
the way
You do touch a lot.
the way those people think, and
Those people.
and I just it boggles my mind that I read this one so wrong. With my expertise in women is what I mean,
Oh, my goodness.
and how good I am at just like understanding
Yeah.
All the
what they,
signs.
for whatever reason, feel like they deserve or that they want. Like
Or what they
I
think they want.
Feel like they deserve.
Yeah. I mean, for whatever reason that they think they deserve whatever, I feel like I'm always in tune with that.
100%. I think you're right.
So
100%.
So stupid.
Now, here we go. So her wedding present is a very nice yacht. Holy shit. Like I just wonder, like when you have a yacht like that and you have staff, like what do they do when you're not on
Amy
the
can
yacht?
tell us. She watches
Yeah, let me tell you about
Mediterranean
it.
Down Under.
It sometimes if you have enough money, then that staff is always on call.
Okay.
I believe. But then other times, if you don't have that much money, but you charter your yachts all the time, you go through a company, And then that company will then send out their captain, their whole staff for that specific yacht.
Okay, so it's
they'll be like, okay, I need 1 captain, 2 engineers, this many stewardesses, and
4 calling birds.
Exactly.
That's cool. Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. Yeah.
But like, let's say Jeff Bezos, I bet you anything, he has all of those people on salary all the time, and they have to get up and go whenever he wants them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I have a friend that's a private pilot, and that's his thing. It's just like the guy could just decide, I want to go here, and that's what you do.
Did I tell you about the private plane story? Our little neighbor boy.
No.
He was 3 or 4 at the time, potty trained, but now a boy, thinks everything is hilarious and all about penises and butts and all the things.
Because it is.
And he was looking at the sky one day, and there was a real small plane that flew by, and it wasn't the big Southwest that we usually see over our houses. And he asked me and his dad and whoever was standing around, what's that? What is that? And I said, oh, it's a private plane. And he said, ew. And it took us a whole minute, 60 seconds to figure out why he said ew or gross. And then we got it, and he was thinking about privates.
Yeah, privates.
Like, can you imagine what was going on in his little head?
Of course not, yeah.
He's just a whole bunch of dicks flying around in that thing up in the air.
Penises up there. Yeah. Oh, I think that one's a male plane.
Yeah. Where's the female?
How can you tell? Don't you see his little balls?
What is that from?
That's from Three Amigos.
Okay.
That's a something plane. I flew in one when Little Nettie goes to in Little Nettie Goes to War. All right. Now the Venice scene is fucking great. So he's yelling Venus in his sleep or whatever, and she's fucking pissed. And he's like, I don't even know her. What the fuck? Like, this is crazy.
We're investing in Italy or California.
And then goes to the scene with the candle in his ass, and she starts burning the wax, and he's going, owie, owie, like a kid. Woof, woof. That's my safe word.
Don't give a shit about your
give a shit about your word. Safe word. And then the end of that scene where he almost wrecked the plane, him getting off that thing is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And the way she's like, yeah, you crashed a helicopter in our yard and woke up the baby, and you see how it happened, because it just seems like they land, and that's kind of the end of it, and he trips over the bushes and falls into the pool. And
is this where she's throwing the water on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she keeps doing it. He's so good in this, man. He's just so amazing. And then there's the whole not going to touch mommy for a long time, nothing but short skirts, and I threw away all my panties. And then he's just like, you ever look up there at Mr. Fuzzy's eyes? You notice anything different? And say hi, mommy. Say hi to Rocco's.
Rocco's.
It is crazy because I see that picture all the time. Like, there's that pic that's like kind of an iconic movie picture with, like, she's got the high heel up on his face and he's down on the ground. You've picked that one for trivia like several times, and I don't think I always forgot where it was from.
Yeah.